Deficit data just coming through a little bit lower than expected there, negative 200 billion versus negative 196 billion expected at 8:30. We'll also get a few data points coming up at 10 o'clock this morning, including some consumer confidence and existing home sales data. We have a whole bunch of Fed speakers to watch out for once again today as well. Overall, the market is kind of hanging out where we ended the day yesterday. We'll see how today plays out. Remember, PCE coming up at the end of the week. We'll also get Michigan consumer sentiment. That has an inflation tied to it. And that GDP reading, final Q3 GDP reading coming up tomorrow morning. So it's going to be an interesting couple of days here as we head into the Christmas break. Remember, markets closed on Monday, so enjoy that 3-day holiday weekend. Number of things to talk about as far as individual movers. Google, one of those, restructuring a whole division, and we'll tell you why coming up here. Tesla with pretty impressive numbers coming out of the EU for registrations. Mara to the upside today. We have a couple of downgrades that are interesting. DocuSign and Zoom, to name a few, both down in a pretty good way. It's Wednesday, December 20th. Yep, there's 5 days until Christmas, so start shopping, Sharif. Getting close. Tradertv.live starts now. Yeah, there's DocuSign, 3% already, downside, pretty good gap. Not a lot of volume behind this move, but trying to hold on to $60. What a move this thing has had. Some analysts downgrading, so maybe they can get longer going into the new year. Overall, the market, yeah, kind of hanging out, as I mentioned, where we ended the day yesterday. There's Microsoft hanging out where it ended the day yesterday. FOMO, is that a thing? I mean, this rally is pretty impressive, to say the least, as we've been talking about. But still a lot of catch-up potentially to do in some areas of the market, which could be key going forward. So happy Wednesday.
Yeah, likewise. Thanks for that. I mean, I would have FOMO if I wasn't involved in this market, and we had the move we just had, the November and the continuation into December. We talked about all-time highs on the NASDAQ yesterday, being made very close to all-time highs on the S&P. I'm looking here, Brendo, and energy's run up for the 4th consecutive day as we continue to have troubles there in the Red Sea, but interesting look.
Yeah, some of the individual stocks playing along with that move as far as energy is concerned as well. I was just reading a note on GIS, General Mills. Bit of a throwback if you were born in the era that we were born. Cheerios, come on, man, I grew up on Cheerios. General Mills cutting their sales forecast going into the end of the year and beginning of next year. So cereal, a bit of an issue once again. Neil off once again today. Obi's back with us. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. I was unmuted, but you were muted. What's going on, Obi? Yeah, interesting couple things here. I'm already in Mara here. Bitcoin doing pretty good things here. 43.2 right now. 43.3, bouncing around a little bit. But yeah, General Mills, I'll have to look at that. I think DocuSign on that downgrade is a buy opportunity. I feel like they got that buyout rumor and potential coming through with them as well. I like DocuSign today. We're going to be looking at that one. But Alibaba with some restructuring, Google with some restructuring today as well. Just saw something about Amazon expanding into Canada. We'll find out more about that one. But yeah, man, I mean, Mara's been an absolute monster, and today they get upgraded. So let's just see. I also have a breaker going through $23. Hard to be in this one in the pre-market, but it's 1.5 million shares, so feeling pretty confident with it. Let's just see if it can keep going. Again, we are going to have to, of course, watch BTC. So that's what we have right here. Of course, when I switch screens, it takes a minute to load. Oh my God. So here it is. So it's a nice move to the upside. Zoom in. Zoom in. I don't know where the candles are. That's a 1-minute chart. I'll have to go over to a 2-minute chart. But there it is, man. Nice little move over the last couple minutes from 42,750 up to 43,250. So there's a possible, support level there. And it's kind of random, 42,750, right? Every 250, every 5,000. So there it is. It's a nice little level. There's the 5,000 break, or 500 break, sorry, 42.5 break. Then that was a 42.750 hold. Now we'll see if we can hold 43 and then upside here for BTC. So it's a nice little rally north, which no surprise, that's what's happening with Mara. So let's see if we can't get behind a Bitcoin trade today. I mean, why not? Bitcoin is rallying, seems like it wants to go. And the thing is, yesterday, a lot of you asked me in the chat if I thought today could be a red day. I said yes. So we're starting the day down 0.3 in the NASDAQ. I still feel pretty bearish here today, but again, I don't really, we have a couple numbers coming out. I don't see too many catalysts out there for one way or the other. So I just wonder if, not necessarily bearish, I switched it over, but not necessarily bearish on the market, but it's just like, maybe just a slowdown, the sort of the bull run here, you know?
Yeah, no,
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, I like that the potential idea of that NVIDIA pulling off of the 500. We hit some fresh highs on both the ES and the NQ, and then the pre-market we're taking a little bit of a pullback as well, especially off that 17 thou. Yeah, no, the NVIDIA 500 kind of a rejection is definitely interesting to me. Could be a little kind of directional, right? It could give some direction if we kind of start to flush off of this 500, but as of right now, we're well within trend. So yeah, nothing too crazy on the board for me. I think I have some Google and some Amazon and some AMD and maybe some Mara as well on the sticky note. But other than that, no real, nothing too crazy in terms of trade ideas. But if you guys have any decent ideas or maybe some news or something that we missed, throw it up in the chat. I'm more than willing to check it out and maybe have a potential trade idea off of that, or like come up with one. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's all I really got. Google, I think, is again, we were trading it yesterday as well. I think it's some decent news there, and I was trying to take it through that 137 yesterday. Tried quite a few times there, but this accumulation on top of this 136 was definitely interesting. We got a strong move at the end of the day, and coming in today, we held those same levels in the pre-market, and we broke through that yesterday's high like it was nothing off of a catalyst. So that move kind of did come into fruition. Take a look at this leg up consolidation, another leg up, a little bit of a 3-bar happening here in terms of price action there. But that 137 is definitely interesting for me.
A few things to note here. Let's talk FedEx to kick things off, and not in the sense that it's might be a trade today. I'm not going to say it's not, but more of an economic bellwether when it comes to global demand and whether or not. Okay. Fabian liked that word. Whether or not the demand for goods and services across the globe is still there. So FedEx downside, big miss right across the board. Pretty much everything, even their forecast, pretty weak. But that's a daily chart, so a bit of a bounce underway here, to say the least, trying to get back to 250 here for FDX.
Yeah, I'll talk about the numbers on the rundown, Brendo, but the story here was that they were able to eke out some sort of profitability because of the reduction in costs. They've been, like many other companies this year, really belting down with respect to cost cutting. Also, there has been a marked shift between the FedEx Air services and FedEx Ground. As the consumer becomes more thrifty, they've been looking to save money, and they've been choosing ground services as well. So one at the expense of the other. We'll talk about some numbers on the rundown.
Yeah, we saw going back a couple of weeks ago, Amazon had surpassed them on the volume side for, I think it was the month of November, but not a lot of volume behind this move so far today, guys.
I got to take some of that blame there. I was the one that hit the bang, not Fabian there, but I like the economic bellwether. I like that word. I think that's, we were talking about that yesterday on the, join me every day for the market recap show, by the way, where we had live, as these earnings were dropping, we had them absolutely live, and we had Brian Shannon on, and he discussed, again, he's tweeted it out, he was pretty proud of everything there that he did, because he nailed it again, and we talked about some of the moves here. Hold on a second. Oh, by the way, I tweeted this out. We have some fun Sean tweets things here, and this is kind of funny. If Home Alone happened today, so it'd be like, hey, mom, dad, yo, what's going on? I'm out in my room. You would text them, hey, I'm home alone. And then she would just get the text and say, oh, okay, I'm coming back to get you, the end. So that would be the end of Home Alone now. Because I just watched that movie again, and it's so true. It's like, they just take off without the kid. It's like, okay, it's like, all right. And then
they lock them up in the attic and they just leave in the morning.
Yeah. And then we watched Home Alone 2 2 nights later, and the exact same thing happened again. It's like the very next year. You thought you would have been like, oh, let's make sure Kevin is around. Check out this list here. I'm going to talk about FedEx in a minute, but I tweeted this out yesterday. These were all 52-week highs yesterday. Amazon, Meta, Netflix, Coin, JP Morgan. Like, you want to talk about Mag 7, like, look what else is in here, man. You got some finances. You got the best company ever, Lululemon's here. You got Salesforce. You got Shopify. You've got your favorite, Affirm. There goes Marathon, basically, digital right now. Mara breaking through 23, and we just got longer. Carvana. We talked about Carvana with Brian Shannon yesterday. Dropbox is there. General Electric is there. Let's talk about Hilton Worldwide. Let's talk about Royal Caribbean. Let's talk about Skechers or not. Zillow, Zscaler. Like, give me a break, man. Everything is here for all of these highs. But what do I want to show? This is it right here. So Brian was on the show yesterday, and this is it. So there's the anchored VWAP. So it actually came down to 258. Yesterday for FedEx. So we had Brian on live as this was happening. It was a heck of a, a lot of fun every time, we got the guests coming on. He likes it. FedEx down. He doesn't, not that he likes it, but watch out for 250 area of possible support. But the thing is, now we've broken below it. So look at the 200 period moving average here on FedEx. This is now the problem. It's at 244. So I feel like we could get some bounce action there, but this is part of what I was talking about, and we will go through the numbers. UPS, so by the way, right now Marathon is starting to do some of this in the pre-market, which is nice. So UPS also down 4%. We're gonna find out let me find out when these guys report as well. The idea here is, and this is why I hit the bang for the economic bellwether, this is part of the point. Is like if UPS is January 30th, so they've already come through. Okay, so the idea behind FedEx and this move down is if they are guiding and seeing weaker potential deliveries moving forward, what does that mean for commerce, right? So that's sort of where I am in all of this, and that's why I'm a little bit nervous here heading through the holiday season, because we've already had the Black Friday numbers. We've already sort of guided for strong holiday sales. What if those sales aren't as strong as possible or as stated, right? So it's like the opposite of sandbagging. By the way, Bitcoin right now is 43.4 and it's trying to go up. And here's Mara. We just executed through 23. So we actually got as high as 15, which is what I was excited about. And here we go again. Right now back through up into 15 cents. So we'll watch out for Marathon. Good potential to go here. But yeah, FedEx, little nervous hands trading that name. I'd stay away from it today.
Yeah, some strong selling off of that earnings report, missing both on their revenue and their EPS. And something I was reading what Darwin was saying in the chat. He's saying TOS saying that Amazon is down off of FDX, but Amazon delivers most of their own packages, right? I think that's very true there. And if Thinkorswim is giving you that headline, I think that maybe it's worth a look to kind of see if Amazon and FedEx maybe move in a little bit of a tandem if it catches a sell. But yeah, I highly am skeptical of that reasoning for Amazon being down here. But decent move on FDX, no doubt.
Okay, so on that, I do agree with all of that. What I was thinking about, as far as all of that is concerned, by the way, I do have an offer on Mara at 20. So if we're able to get something out there, we'll take 20 cents. Amazon is obviously consumer discretionary, right, with the retail side of things. So if FedEx is projecting lower shipments, then potentially Amazon would also see lower shipments.
Okay.
So lower demand for that,
right.
Potentially online sales or whatever FDX goes through. But we're gonna figure that all out. All right, so here goes Mara. We're gonna take 20 cents, but hey, we're only getting out of 10%, man. We want to hold this thing and see if it can go a little bit higher. Mara right now ripping.
All right, CGC, a couple people mentioning this right now, halted pre-market here. So there was a 1-for-10 reverse split announced back on the 13th. That is effective as of today. That's the only thing I'm seeing. There is they sold part of their, so if you had one, now you have 10. Not necessarily a good thing. Not necessarily good for the value. Fabian, shout out to Fabian, he sold this yesterday. So missing out on this 1-for-10 reverse split for CGC.
Yeah, I really don't have anything to add to this, Brendo. I'm not able to find that much information. All I can see here is the we.to record holders as of today with a ratio of 0.1 to 1. I don't really know what to make of this, whether it's positive or negative for the stock. We'll have to keep an eye and see how it responds.
Yeah, there was a deal for their skincare division as well. So This Works, which is the name of their skincare, they sold that for 15.9 million Canadian for CGC as well.
I mean, I can tell you the thing about this, Sharif, it's bad. How about that? You know, we do not like reverse splits pretty much ever. And CGC again, well, we can call it up. I mean, I can call it up on weed. It's not going to be a good thing. The reason why I said yes is because like maybe now when I look at my account, I'll think I'm rich because they haven't adjusted, you know, the price. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, I'll have like 1,000 shares or 10 whatever shares I have. But this has been a disaster. For some reason, we just went up to 80 cents there. Remember, I was excited because I actually bought more down here and averaged in because, like I said, I was down 98%. So averaged in down here at 54, it went up to 80 cents, probably should have got out of it, and now we're in trouble even more. So we'll wait to see where this opens up, but again, CGC is a huge, huge problem. Realistically, I feel like if you're going to get involved in anything, you want to get involved in an ETF, so MSOS would be that if again, you're interested in it. You had that huge move up right here when we talked about, I feel like it was before August though, but there was that, this had to have been it, right? The switch, or maybe it was earlier. I feel like that switch from schedule 1 to 3 or whatever they were talking about was before August, but okay. Anyways, this is what I was getting at, is just weed names right now is just going to be that. You're just waiting for federal news. I don't really see any other play here other than waiting. And it's an election year, so I could see this being on talk, at least on discussion. So I don't mind it, but for CGC and it's weed for everybody in Toronto. So, you know, this is, again, this might look better on a chart because it'll give us a different idea of where the stock has come from and everything like that. But weed.to right now, it's halted, so you can't really see it, but you're still down to 60 cents at the end of the day. So, yeah, this is not going to be a good story, I don't feel like. And if you want to invest in anything, just invest in Mara and Bitcoin, because look at Mara right now. Hell yeah, this is what we're talking about. It's Sticky Note Nation, that's not even out yet, but we talked about Mara, and there it is right now, up to 23.40, and here we go, man. That's it. Like, this is how we're going to trade. We're going to try to trade names that are in play. We haven't traded Mara in a minute, so we're going to go on that today. Let's see if it can continue to climb. Let's go, Mara. What do you think about weed stocks, Obi?
I think they're pretty beat down there. Yeah, reverse split. When's the last time we've had a post-split runner? This thing looks like it's been faded off pretty heavily to
yeah, it's bad news.
Towards the downside. Yeah, again, I think these weed names kind of. Here's my experience with weed names. I kind of started trading initially because a lot of my friends were getting into these weed names, and I pretty much bought the news instead of buying the rumor, selling the news, and then that was a big lesson as well. But these names have been beat down quite heavily, and yeah, every now and then they do go on a little bit of a run, multi-week, but you can see that the fades more often than not come in real nice over the course of the next few months. And yeah, that's the thing with these names. I think when there's opportunity, there's volume there on both sides of the move. And yeah, post-split, maybe there could be some volume if we kind of push past some of these previous levels as well. But we'll have to wait and see after it opens how it acts.
All right.
Nicola, just wanted to mention, there was a quick note I just saw pop up there. So they've announced a 10-year strategic partnership with First Element Fuel for infrastructure, essentially, for fuel delivery for Nicola. So 2% here to the upside. I mean, it's still a penny stock, but decent amount of volume, actually 3 million already.
Yeah, which is really important because you and I were just talking off camera, the lack of infrastructure for hydrogen, and if you have a hydrogen-fueled vehicle, it's really hard for you to actually get it fueled. I was just telling Brendo off camera that the owners of the Toyota Mirai in California actually have to have hydrogen delivered to their home on the back of a truck. So little is the actual infrastructure there. So, you know, we'll see how this one does, but there's not as many, obviously, hydrogen fuel cells on the car as there are EV.
No, I mean, the adaptation is still the issue, I think. Here's Tesla, meanwhile. We'll talk about that coming up after 9 o'clock with some pretty impressive sales numbers and registration numbers coming out of Europe. in the last little bit here. So heads up on Tesla, Rivian as well, back downside ever so slightly after a positive day yesterday.
What do you want to say about? Remember, I asked the 8 ball, but if it was going to be, I'm going to take a picture of this because I got to take a. We'll go get the sticky note out right now. The 8 ball, I asked it about it being a red day. It said hell yes. The market's trying to battle back a little bit right now as we get in there. I do like Tesla. Yesterday, Tesla was a monster. I mean, it was one of the most aggressive names there when the stock market wasn't doing much. We were kind of just sitting. Oh no, now I have these bad prints on there. Yuck. Okay, well, this is going to make the move look less. Again, we have these dark pools in here, not much we can do about it, but there's the move I was talking about, 253 all the way to 259. So again, the market had some moves, right? We had AMD moving to the upside yesterday. We had Apple kind of just hovering around and not doing too much. Meta started going yesterday for some reason as well. But there we go. Yesterday, there was a lot of excitement in this market, and it started with Tesla. Tesla up to 258, 259, almost breaking. But the good news is we held this level when the market came back in midday. So we held 255. So it's only 256 right now. Obviously, Tesla has monster moves off the open, but I feel like we're going to be looking at this 255 and then possibly down here as well, 253. This note that we have, and we're going to try to get out of Mara here as well for another place at 50, I believe. No, at 40s we have an offer. Tesla today, downside there. Vehicle registrations in Europe, they were up, but what was the negative news here? Tesla stock from yesterday increased its price target. So it's not, less favorable subsidy environment. Okay. But anyways, we're down today. It's kind of just down with the market. So again, not much to see here with Tesla other than I still think it's a long. And honestly, I still think we can get to 280 and that was my sort of price target for year end. If we can get to that, I think that it's worth selling something there in Tesla. Not too much negative news. With BYD, with NIO, with some of this other pressure, we've seen Rivian going back up to the upside. I like Tesla today. It needs to come down. It needs to get. I would love, yesterday we wrote down on the sticky note, I'm looking at the level right here. This is yesterday's sticky note of 250. So the lowest we got was 253. So maybe we have to play off 253 at some point here today. And I'm going to be tweeting this out momentarily.
I like the idea of Nikola kind of pushing up into that $1 mark as well. we got some strong volume in this after this quadrunk that happened off the break of the $1. Nice little accumulation potential here, and then we're pushing right back up into the 1. So potential for that 1 test, yes, incoming, and I'm curious to know when and if that will come through. I don't know if I have any more alerts on this one, but we'll throw one in there at $1 to see if we can get there anytime today. But a little bit of a strong trend to the downside as well on the bigger time frame. But yeah, I'm watching Tesla as well. Tesla kind of holding that 250, holding above that 250 as well. I'm curious to know how far we can get. We were talking about this yesterday. Some strong sellers in and around these areas from before. I'm looking for them to step back in, and if they don't, yeah, I'll look for the sustain to take it long past some of these levels here.
All right, we'll get some analyst moves here coming up. Just wanted to mention CRM, but Slack. Real quick here. CRM downside on a downgrade, but also it's worth noting there's a couple of executives from Slack leaving, including the COO once again. So this is not the first time this has happened. It seems like, Sharif and I were just talking off camera there. It seems very well adapted. A lot of people use Slack, but they can't keep executives around too long.
Yeah, seems to be an issue in that
Randy.
particular sector of the company. Yeah, Brendo and I were talking off camera. You don't get just pulled into the Dow for no reason unless you have a sound business model. Also, I was listening to a couple of podcasts. They were positing the idea that this one could actually be part like the Mag 10 if we end up expanding into more of those companies in the big heavyweights. We'll have to wait and see, but yeah, not a good look.
Yeah, Salesforce on this board right now. Adara has upgrades and downgrades over at the screen.
Some interesting ones on the board today, including Spirit AeroSystems here with an upgrade from Morgan Stanley. Paramount with an upgrade from Wells Fargo, also raising the price target from 15 to 18. This one's really interesting with what Wells Fargo had to say with regards to merger and acquisition opportunities for Paramount coming into 2024. Definitely give that one a look. We also have an upgrade for McDonald's from HSBC Securities and KeyBank from Stephens. In terms of downgrades, Costco getting a downgrade here from North Coast. CRM, Salesforce here getting a downgrade from Wells Fargo, as was discussed, and also trading a little bit lower here today. DocuSign with a downgrade also from Wells Fargo, and another Wells Fargo downgrade here. Zoom getting a downgrade. This one also interesting given that it was removed from the NASDAQ 100 as of Monday, guys.
It's a decent look there. Your reaction on Costco was a little
Dramatic?
strong.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah.
I just
It's
do
been
random
running up pretty well off of earnings last was this last week? Yeah, last week, and even going into the earnings as well. So yeah, a little bit of a relief potential. You get that downgrade as well, but this name has done nothing but kind of trek its way up for most of the year here. Take a look at the daily as well. This is the beginning of 2023. We got this little bit of a gap up in January, and we never looked back off of this 461 price. Nice little consolidation for a few months, and you break out, hold a little bit higher, and then now we start to accelerate with expanding volume, pushing into the 700 area. So I think I've been watching this name for a few weeks now, kind of impressed with the strength that it's been giving. But finally, we get a little bit of I guess not finally, but we get a little bit of a downgrade. So potential for a little bit of a pullback coming in after we've accelerated off of this earnings report we had last week. So I think that's not a bad look here. I was watching this name off the 600 going into earnings as well. Yeah, I think if it has been bid up for a little bit with the downgrade, I think there's potential for a little bit of a pullback, if not at least a consolidation sideways. I'm maybe watching this 670 week low as well.
Okay.
661 week low. Monday.
DocuSign.
Sorry.
No, that's all good, man. I mean, I want to buy some Costco too. I'm actually out of Costco. I don't own any. I used to own that. I used to own a lot of Costco, and then my dad used to have this thing about buying it like in the mid to low like $50, $60, $70, $80 mark. This is 15 years ago,
yeah,
probably more, and then just getting out at 100 and then getting back and forth. But okay. What's up, Imprints? LOL. Sean's portfolio going to take a hit. Okay. All right. So I'm long only in my portfolio. So if the market, I mean, right now we're at all-time highs. So told you guys yesterday. Remember yesterday I said that I was selling some positions. So we did. We discussed the ones we sold off a little bit yesterday. We got out of some Snapchat. We got out of more NVIDIA at 494. I have no idea what NVIDIA is at right now. We got out of, we've been trimming Eli Lilly, but that was north of 600. I talked about some of them yesterday. I don't know. Okay. All right. So down 3% here. The thing about DocuSign is this. On the 18th, it's only the 20th, we had a story about DocuSign possibly getting bought out, or not getting bought out, but getting advisors on board for a potential buyout. I love the business. I mean, they have, those of you guys watching, those traders watching out there, professionals, Sharif mentioned it yesterday about using DocuSign. This is a very, very well-used product. And especially in today's world where people don't want to go into work to do anything, you need something signed. You're gonna use DocuSign. Now the thing is that, whoopsies. Oh no. Okay, good. I only minimized the chart. Woo. Sometimes if you do something bad with the charts, you pay forever. But DocuSign right here on the daily. I'll just pull up this one. It's a nice move up, and I just think it's a nice move down. Whoever downgraded it today, I feel like just wants to get this name a little bit cheaper. I like the story here, and then I'll just have the valuation. I don't have the valuation up, but I have the market cap. That's not that high, 12 billion. If a private equity firm is going to come in and buy this thing out, there's no way DocuSign shareholders agree to anything near where we're at right now. This name just back, this is going to be July of 22. We're at $90. Sure, it's had a nice little whoosh back up to the upside here. Thing is, downgrades happen when you run into this. So it's running into some top heavy areas, which is the 52-week high up down there at 69.45. So we hit that back in March. So or February there, February 17th. What day is Valentine's Day again? I should probably know, the 14th.
14th.
So I love you. But here 66 to 80, 66 to 70, feel like that's getting a little top heavy. I like DocuSign, and I sold some positions yesterday thinking about putting some money to work in DOCU. You like that position, Sharif? What do you think about DocuSign?
Yeah, no, you and I were just talking about that. I mean, it's amazing to see, not only what has happened, but the fact that there are others in that space that do something similar. Adobe has something. We were just talking about that. That's something similar, but just not even on the same level. Let's get into everything else we need to know here. We'll talk about Google here in a second. Sharif's going to kick it off with a look at the overall market.
We reclaimed 4,800 on a closing basis yesterday, Brendo. We closed out at that 4,820 area. What a bullish day yesterday was, breaking through that level. The overnight high, 4,824. The overnight low, 4,808. I'm going to say 4,800 as a level of support. Let's see if we continue the downtrend that we've started this morning. If we don't, if we continue the uptrend, look for the overnight high as resistance, 4,824.
All right, if you have not done so yet, make sure you grab that. Very easy. Watchlist.tradertv.live will get you there, or scan that QR code, bottom left corner right now. It'll take you there as well. Enter your email address and you get that for free every single day from us. Let's talk about Google here. Kind of an interesting story, to the upside already in a pretty decent way. 139 coming into play, which was going back to that high from a week or so ago. I don't know why I was surprised by this, but their ad division is 30,000 people.
Insane.
It's crazy.
Insane.
And they're going to restructure that. The possibility of layoffs was mentioned in this article this morning. So, I mean, the market liking it so far.
Yeah, and that's in addition to the 12,000 jobs they already cut in January, guys. It's been the year of efficiency, not just for Meta, but for all these big tech players. The 12,000 cuts that they had in January amounted to 6% of their global workforce. So if you look at what they're going to do here with a 30,000 person team, we'll have to wait and see what it happens. But a lot of analysts are bullish on the digital ad space going forward. So looks like maybe more margins here for Google.
Yeah, trying anyways. 3 days in a row to the upside, meanwhile, here for Google, guys.
Yeah, what a move on Google, man. Bit of a continuation. I kind of talked about this in the pre-market as well. Well, it is still the pre-market, but a little bit earlier here. Looking like a three, almost like a 3-bar. You have some strength. You have a consolidation near the high of that initial bar, and then you get that continuation move. So potential for that continuation, and we're breaking previous highs in the pre-market right here, 138.50. So strong catalyst-driven move, and we saw the accumulation. I was trading this yesterday, and there was definitely some strong buying off of 136, but yeah, selling at VWAP as well. So I was like, yeah, a little bit of a sandwiched move there, and we kind of churned that as best as possible on top of the 136. But take a look at the pre-market session today. We hold that 136. We break past yesterday's highs, and we break through previous highs as well. December what is this? December 7th here as well, and we're pushing towards previous month highs in November here at 139.40s as well. Kind of this strong sellers all the way up here at the 140s. That's why I have 140s marked down as like a significant place to watch price action for it. It's also the earnings reaction high as well. So a little bit of confluence at that level, at that price, 140. I like that. We were raging to the upside, 139 in the pre-market. So like we can do another point or so off the open. I think that's more than valid, but we'll have to see if this momentum kind of continues off of this strong catalyst today.
Okay, so I wrote down it's going to come out. It's going to be the #1 name on the sticky note. The sticky note is minutes away right now from coming out. All right, so again, this is going to be, I wrote down 136. Now, obviously, when we started to look at this thing, you know, we were at like 137, 137.50, thought we could have faded out. But since this last half hour, Google has really moved, man. It's just moved up $1 in, half hour. So that's a nice move up there. What we're going to have to wait now is when there's a rip, you know, and a gap, we're going to wait for VWAP. So all the way down there, 138. So let it gap up, do a little bit of a dance. If we fade back, we're going to buy VWAP. So we've seen that trade work out numerous times. So that's what we're going to have to do with Google. I've been writing that down on the note. We're going to buy a dip into VWAP at some point, whatever that price is. So 138 and change. I'm not going to do it now. All right. It's just so funny. They have so many employees, and we can't even get our own YouTube helper. YouTube agent. YouTube something. Anyways, YouTube's an absolute monster. I mean, Google's going to work. Google's 52-week high, I was telling this to Obi, Google's 52-week high was 141.22. So we're going to see about that coming through from mid-October. That's probably going to hit today. What's going to slow this thing down? The only answer to that is the market. The market right now is under VWAP. So I'm still bearish until the market takes out 17. If we don't take out 17, I'm bearish, but I am not bearish on Google, and I will not be shorting this unless we get some really heavy resistance up there at 141, its 52-week high. Let's celebrate this. I was looking over at my portfolio yesterday. I am overweighted in Google, and maybe today this could be another name that we start to trim. But again, you know what I was thinking about doing? All this money that I'm trimming out of, some winners, some, actually none are going to be, well, the only I have a lot of losing trades, but the ones I'm selling are all up. Maybe some Shopify, we'll get out of some of that today. We got out of some DraftKings as well. I was thinking about, honestly, just holding these core positions. Like I have like 20 big names like that I'm pretty happy with that I want to hold, that I don't ever want to sell. And then I was just going to put all the proceeds right now and just DCA.
Yeah, just put it back in.
Just
into those 20
set it
names,
up for every month. No, not in those 20 names, in the ETFs, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just going to start dollar cost averaging in every month into, I was thinking about the RSP. Do you know what that is? Quiet, Sharif. The equal weight S&P 500.
Okay.
So
RSP,
yes,
that's the ticker?
RSP.
Okay.
So what it does, so right now, the big fun thing to do is to talk about how overweighted the market is, because it's true, but I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just the NASDAQ names, we talk about them all the time, the Microsofts, the Googles, the Amazons, the Facebooks, something called Apple, is very, very heavily weighted in all of these accounts. So the thing is that if anything were to happen potentially in the market, obviously a lot of names will go down, but they're thinking that, hey, money comes out of those big names first.
Yeah.
So if you are just in the SPY or the triple Qs, you're going to get an exaggerated move to the downside because of these 4, 5, 6, 7 names. Mm-hmm. So if you're in the RSP, there is also one for the NASDAQ as well, equal weighted NASDAQ, but the RSP is up 14% this year, and the S&P is up 18%.
Okay.
So it's not
too bad.
400 basis points, like it's not great, but if you are fearful of that, then I feel like you're doing the right thing. What's up, Kat? I really like that sweater, by the way. That's a nice sweater there. Bikini Bottom, what? SpongeBob. Oh, SpongeBob.
Yeah, I think it's got some SpongeBob vibes, I guess.
Yeah, I like it. But anyways, that's what I was thinking about doing there as well. So, and then maybe collect something, find something that also pays a little bit of a dividend.
Okay.
Because I'm just getting too old. I'm getting too old to be worried about like all of these ups and downs. I'm not a great like stock picker, I feel like, for the long term. I don't know. Like I want to buy and hold everything. And it's just like, I don't want to give my money to somebody to manage. So I just feel that when the market goes up, I'm going to be part of that with the names that I have. But, throw some money away for swing accounts, but just put it into a longer term, safe dollar cost average. Because honestly, man, the market is a pretty simple thing to understand when you're doing that.
Yeah.
All you have to understand is, the market's at highs, good. I bought last month at the first of the month or whatever day. I'm buying again this month. I'm buying, like if you're into oil, just buy the dips. Then when it gets back up, you can get out of it as well. And then that strategy really works great if you also get dividends. Mm-hmm. So, but anyways, that's what passive investing is all about. So, there's different ways about doing it. So, all right. Yeah, my long-term, what does this guy say? My long-term stock picks are pretty meh. Yeah, you're right. I mean, you know, my largest holdings are all at 52-week highs. So, and all-time highs pretty much. The thing about it, like, all right, let's just go back over the thing because I can just go on this forever. Right, you know, or you could just buy Berkshire too. You know, like that's another one you could just.
Class A or Class B?
Class C.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Class C.
No, I have no idea. I just want to be different. Yeah, Berk B is the one that everybody owns. So, okay, what do you guys think about passive investing over there?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, Sharif and I were just agreeing with everything you were saying there. So, yeah, especially when the market is doing this every single day, just continues to march to the upside. You can't go wrong. I was just noting that Berk B is at a pretty good level right now as well, looking like it might want to break out to the upside. Tesla, yeah, let's talk about these European car registrations. 6.7% across the board in November, 16.3%, however, for electric vehicles. So a nice look for the Teslas of the world over in the EU. Bit of a pullback here this morning, though.
Yeah, anytime I see Tesla in EU, I always worry because we know that the EU is looking at imposing tariffs on any cars coming out of China for unfairly receiving subsidies from the Chinese government. So we'll have to wait and see how that investigation pans out. But more data coming out from China with respect to price cuts in Tesla's models. So here, let's look at this. The Model 3 was cut by 6% compared to December of last year, and the Model Y was cut by 11%. I'm talking about full year cuts, not currently, guys, which is actually more than the Chinese BYD cut on its main flagship sedan, the Han, which is really the only comparable one that they have with Tesla's models. It looks as if, the 13 major EV manufacturers in China, only Tesla and Li Auto are set to reach their respective sales targets by the end of the year. So that's just coming out there this morning from China.
I was reading a article yesterday, totally unrelated. Well, not totally, but it was on Rivian, and the analyst was essentially comparing this R2 platform that's going to come out early next year, or shown to the world early next year, to the Model 3 moment that Tesla had. And this is going to be Rivian's Model 3 moment. Smaller, more affordable, less tech, less luxury, across the board, more appealing to a wider audience. So for Rivian.
What I want to see is RJ Scaringe. Is he going to sleep on the couch like Elon did? Right? Like we're going to have that kind of like that aha moment where he scales. We'll have to wait.
I wonder if he has a nicer couch than Elon at that point in Tesla's lifespan. But nice look here, guys, for Tesla.
Yeah, expansion into EU markets. That's pretty solid news there. And looking at how it's been acting technically as of recent, we got that 250 break, and we've only been holding above it since. And again, that 250 break I think was a little distinct, pushing past some of these multi-week highs. And again, we talk about this as well. Sellers all in and around these areas. I'm curious to know if or when they're going to step back in here. We are testing some strong resistances from the past, 275, 260. We're just holding that 250. But yeah, I think this stair step up off of this strong break of previous consolidation is pretty decent here. And if we can get that continuation move back into those previous resistances, we'll know whether or not this has some room to continue further. If it continues to kind of step up, hold, I think that's a decent look there. Increased probability for continuation, in my opinion.
All right. Yeah, we talked a little bit about Tesla earlier as well. And look, oh man. All right, hold on a second. Let me just call up another. Thank you so much for some of the talk there and about that passive investing. If anybody wants to tweet at me, maybe I'll put a tweet out about that, and then we can talk about some names that we want, to do like that, because that SC, I wrote it down. I think it was Bill there in the chat. Oh no, I wrote it down, but where did I put it? On my small sticky note right here. I wrote down SCHD to look at that. Okay, so hold on. I just want to bring this down so we get a little bit of a better chart here without all these wicks because I didn't have time to edit it. All right, so this is a 5-minute chart on Tesla. Look what happened yesterday. An absolute monster rip to the top side, but we did fade out at 259. So that 259 matches the day before. So if back-to-back days we're going to fade off of 258.50, 259, then I'm bearish today. I don't want to use the word bearish, but slightly negative on where this market could go. So I feel like it's a fade up here if we get to these levels. But at the same time, I would like to buy dips. So I feel like we're caught in the middle right now. This dip at 255 is the 200 period on a 5-minute chart. That's also the bottom of the afternoon yesterday. I sort of talked a little bit about this earlier. I like this level down here at 255 to possibly buy. But if you buy at 255 and you don't have that many shares, I feel like you want to wait for this, like this 250, 250. So let's just say you want to hold, 100 shares. What I would do is, if it comes back into here as a day trader, buy 30 or 40 shares right here, and then let it jump down if the market collapses. Like this is what trading is, right? We want to have a plan to see what's going to happen, and if it does, then that's why we have a plan. So if this comes back into 253-ish, that's where I think you put on your other, like, what did I say, 30 to 40 shares? So then you put on your other 50 to 60 shares, something like that, get close to your 100, maybe put on one last piece. And then if the ultimate level breaks down here of 250, 150, then yeah, you're gonna lose about $3 on your 100 shares. But like, I just feel that this is going to be good support. I don't think there's any reason why this name drops down to 251 today. But, without a buyer, that could happen. So let's let this thing settle down. I'm not trying to buy this 255 right off the open, but if it does hang around here and looks like a good opportunity, then I feel like we want to buy some 255s there on Tesla. I'd say stay long the name, but again, the market, if it does what I think it's going to do, we're under VWAP, we're under 17,000. I could definitely see some retests down here at least of 16,950. That's easy. We're almost there right now at 80. So for me, Tesla's a hold until we see some dip buy opportunities. The sticky note's now out.
All right, let's go on to MARA. Touched on it briefly there. If you're with us between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. This is a crazy looking daily chart. 15 up to 25 bucks almost today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row. Fabian's very happy about MARA continuing to go higher. HC Wainwright pumping up your position today there, Fabian, pointing to 24 bucks now.
Let's not forget about Michael Noss and the swing that he has on Mara right now. Shout out to the Noss boss there. But yeah, Brendo, HC Wainwright liking this to the tune of 24 bucks from 20. It comes after Marathon Digital's acquisition of 2 operational Bitcoin mining sites with a total capacity of about 390 megawatts. That was for about $178 million announced back on Tuesday. So getting a nice analyst upgrade off that back.
Yeah, I still see 22.5% on the short side of things as well. So there's that angle too for MARA.
Something to watch out for when these crypto names are moving is obviously Bitcoin, and we've been talking about Bitcoin over the past couple of weeks, especially when it had this strong flush back into 40,000, right? 40,000, again, we talked about these dips getting bought right back up. It's well within the uptrend, and we were getting that break of this consolidation coming into today here as well. So every time we kind of dipped into the 40,000, we get bought up about 3,000 points there, 43s, and then now we're pushing up into that 44. So yeah, with a little bit of a buy, I guess a buy rating hold there on Mara as well. I think that this is poised for a decent trend going pushing up. We saw the 20 break and hold yesterday happen really well. Nice little shake and bake to kind of grab that grab some prices in and around 22 to 21. I like that hold of 21, and I was looking at these prices for today when I was kind of doing the rundown kind of last night with Mara. 22 halves and 21s I had marked down, but coming in today, we've already held those 22 halves and continuing to the upside. I know Sean got involved in the pre-market as well, but this is poised for a decent push back up. Let's see if this 22 half comes into play in the open market for a continuation move there. I think I like that. I like the look here. A bit of a continuation play off of a multi-day runner, right?
Yeah, I'm just talking with Michael Noss. What's up, Michael Noss? What's up to Nimit? What's up to some of the friends that have tweeted me and messaged me and stuff like that? Shout out to everybody out there. A lot of love for all of our viewers. I mean, that's that's one of the good things about what we're doing on the show is like being able to meet new people and be able to hear different ideas and get different, you know, some negative opinions, some positive opinions. Like that's what we're all about, man. It's like, you know, you can't grow unless we take feedback, and you know, so I really enjoy coming to work every single day. Bitcoin 43.7 right now, so it's doing its little dance. Look, we're already like, let's go on this one. I mean, Mara's already done real well for us. The thing is, it did go up to this 23.6. We didn't get any out. We got out of 15%, 10%, then 15% up there. So now we only have 10 and 15, 65%. 75% left of the position right now. So the thing is, I got an odd fill on this first dip, so I have to calculate it, but it doesn't matter. So we bought the dip like we thought we would do, and it wasn't even that much of a dip, but that's just how much I liked it. It was up to 23, it came back to 90 and we bought it, and then it broke through and we bought it again. I want to just buy Mara. I wrote down on the sticky note, which is now out 22.50. That was this barcoded level right here off the open in the pre-market, and now it's where the 200 period is. So let's go. That's awesome. Now everything's lining up for us. We're really ready to go. We like this name. It's Mara. And then right here on BTC, we sort of showed this chart. I know Neil uses Trading View for this. I think I'll probably switch it over. But there it is. It's a nice move up right here for Bitcoin. As we can see, if we zoom in a little bit, 43.7, it just took out some levels. Good move up, 43,250 trying to hold as well. So let's see what happens. Bitcoin, nice move, but there's the big level that we're going to be looking at if you're trading Mara, 43,000. You just don't want that to slip. So they get an upgrade today from H.C. Wainwright right now. I don't know, you know, without reading the report or anything like that, let's just trade it appropriately. We understand that the short float on Mara is 24%, so we're trying to play that momentum as well. If anybody's been shorting this, which people have been, they're not going to like it being up another 7% today. Mara is absolutely screaming. It's been a banger. We got traders in on this one, and we talked about this with Michael Nosser, shout out to him again, on buying this at 10 bucks. If you're not watching the recap show, first of all, traders stay late. We had Mara, talked about this, built up the base case, built up the bull case for this name at $10. So this right here, like, and this, why do you think we talked about this? This was 2 weeks ago. It was breaking the 200. It was bouncing off the 50-period moving average. I love this. I asked Michael Noss about this name. So yeah, I'm getting excited about it because I know there's a lot of traders that have gone in there and made a lot of money with Mara. So congratulations, this is what it is. Don't let this cow get too fat though, because hey, at some point the train is going to end, but enjoy it while it's there, and drink some champagne tonight because it's another 7% for Mara, and it's been an absolute banger. As there we go, Mara. Watch to see what happens off the open. This thing moons.
Downside for a couple at the bottom of the list here. Zoom, one of those. We'll get to DOCU at the end there as well. 2.4% right now. Just took out session lows or pre-market lows here. Right at the bottom end of the range as well on the daily chart. It was Wells Fargo going to underweight with a $70 price target here, which is not too far away, 70 cents at least.
Yeah, I'm not able to find the reasoning behind Phil Winslow's downgrade there. He's the analyst at Wells Fargo. Come on, Phil. Downgrading Zoom as well as DocuSign. Let's look at what analysts are saying though. So out of 14 analysts polled, Brendo, 2 are bullish, 3 are somewhat bullish, 8 are indifferent, and 1 only is somewhat bearish on the name. So, you know, the most part here, not a bad look.
I don't understand how they can be indifferent on a stock. Like it's just, Zoom's negative though.
Yeah, I didn't even look at Zoom there today. I saw DocuSign, and I was just like looking at DocuSign. But I mean, the thing about Zoom is it's an. Wait a minute, was this? Could you call up Sharif Kathy Zark, because I can't remember. I remember I was like, oh, she's into Zoom, or maybe it was another name, and then it turned out that the position wasn't as great as maybe I thought it was. But again, like this is the thing. It's the same thing happened to DocuSign today. You know, it's just like this. It's like you're just running into resistance again. So like they just come out and downgrade it, you know, because you're coming into a spot where we touched in April, back in the summer, back in the early fall, I guess, of September, and then you're doing it right now and having a hard time breaking through. So again, another name here with ZM coming through. Oops. There it is, ZM, 6.7, okay, 6.72% on short float, so it's not a huge short float. Let's put up the graphic if you have it. So there it is right there. So yeah, okay, so it is number 6. So yeah, okay, so there we go. So again, 3.9% it looks like of the holding there in Kathy's ARC. So this is gonna be ARC, RK, I guess, the main event. Can you go up? I wanna see the number 1. It's Coinbase, I saw. So again, can you scroll up, Sharif, or whoever's doing this, thank you. Because see that Coinbase weighting? That's gonna get sold because that's probably too high. Again, the weightings are going to probably get rebalanced. They're very aggressive traders over there at ARC. So I just feel like this move up in Coinbase, although I know that Kathy Wood is very, very pro Bitcoin, obviously. Her price target for Bitcoin is?
100,000?
500,000?
500.
So obviously holding Coinbase would make some sense, but I could see some Coinbase coming out and she's gonna have to rebalance into something else. So watch out for Zoom. As Mara right now going back up to the high of the day again. So let's watch out for Zoom. It's not on my radar though today.
Yeah, Zoom, I don't really look at this normally, but definitely was looking at it a lot more in 2020 and how far have we come off of these, off of the 600 level there. This stock is a little dead from its highs there. And I think that with a lot of people, again, getting involved with not just Zoom videos, but like I think a lot of businesses use Microsoft Teams.
Oh, there's
and,
so many.
And other services.
Google Meet, I think it's called.
Yeah, Google Meets, and there's, yeah, of course. So there's so much competition, and these guys were they were at the right place at the right time, but that demand is definitely gone, and the market has balanced itself out pretty decently in my opinion. But yeah, coming into resistance and showing some struggle to get past some of these levels. We've just been in this consolidation for the past few months, and it seems like with this downgrade, it's a little bit more of the same. You're poised to kind of come back into the lower end of the range here into the 60s. Yeah, I think a little bit of a fade could be the look here on Zoom going forward.
All right, DocuSign, bottom of the list there. Yeah, it's Wells Fargo as well. Different person from Wells Fargo, but still the downgrade and a price target cut. Again, no real explanation as to why on this, but outside of, yeah, they want more lower for DOCU. Bit of a downside move today.
Yeah, price target of 47, reducing it to underweight from equal weight, Brendo. Yeah, look, I don't have an issue with DocuSign using it constantly in my line of work. You know, there are obviously competitors. Brendo mentioned this earlier. You're able to sign documents on Adobe Reader. So, you know, there are some free options out there, but I think for the serious businesses, really the only one that I've seen.
Absolutely, and has held up nicely, guys, since their report.
All right, so yeah, so the thing about DocuSign for me, and by the way, we just got Mara, so spin it one more time. That's now 70 cents in the money. And the thing is that this is the thing about, you know, I hashtag real trading and stuff like that. Like this is, you guys saw me take both of these positions and you've seen me take all of these out. So this is not like anything undercover. Plus, it's the best trade idea that I have on this. There it is, Fabian, right on, contact on, perfectly done there, Fabian. Okay, we're now out of half. Of Mara. So now let's go. I don't have any plans of getting more out. What are you talking about, DocuSign? Okay, so let's go because we have to get ready to ring this bell in just 2 minutes. So look, just on the 18th, this is 2 days ago, DocuSign hired some advisors to investigate a potential buyout. Why would you do that if there was no smoke? Where there's fire, where there's smoke, there's fire, something like that. But anyways, I like DocuSign here. Obviously, its COVID highs was $300. So it's nowhere near those valuations, nor do I expect it to get anywhere near there anyways. But I just think this is a BS downgrade. It's coming into the, and I didn't even read it yet, so you know, my opinion is very, very jaded, I guess, as far as that is concerned. I hate when names get downgraded because they just running into resistance. So I feel like that's the case here. I do want to read the report before I invest in it, but this is one of those names that I am, look at this, as if DocuSign, just on us talking about it, Obi, they must know, maybe did you just punch long? DocuSign just ripped up $1 right there for absolutely no reason at all. All right, well, maybe we'll keep our opinions to ourselves next time. But there goes DocuSign. Nah, just kidding. I have no effect on the market like that. Let's watch out for DocuSign. Only a minute to go. Right now, Mara absolutely ripping. Bitcoin 44 and change right now. Bitcoin upside, Mara upside. Man, it's going to be a good day. Let's check. I mean, You know, if we're here, it should be a good day, right? There's 139 on Google. Alibaba's a name I want to buy up. And guess what? We're getting close to 17K. Bitcoin is ripping, 44.1 right now. Alibaba down near 73 would be nice. Plus, a name that we never talked about was Roblox. Man, we're getting excited. And I just said to Obi there, I haven't even touched my coffee yet.
What's happening with Softy?
What's happening with Softy? You tell me, my guy. There's so many names happening right now. Only 30 seconds, and then we're going to start trading some Softy. A Roblox breaking through 45 as well. I like a lot on breaking through 45. All right, man, we're on one, and we're a half a coffee in. So this is all natural right here as we're excited to trade one more time with only 20 seconds. I can't. That Roblox thing, it's like, what do they call it? Hitting me, because my kids, every time traumatic, that's the word I'm looking for. Every time I die on Roblox, I hear that name. Your kids go, ugh, you're dead on Roblox. All right, 2 and 1, let's go. We are now open, despite me being late on the clock. Here we go. Let's go, man. It is now 70 cents in the money for Mara and starting to go. We're going to watch out for Roblox starting to rip up. Oh, hell yeah. We say Stone Cold. If Stone Cold was here, he'd be cracking the beers right now. It's 23.80 for Mara. And yo, what's up to my guy Patrick over there? We're long at 23, breaker 19. Do you read me? Because this mining is going to the upside right now. Watch out for Roblox and video screaming to 500 as well.
Wow, Apple blasting off of yesterday's highs, kind of continuing that strength that we've been seeing over the past few days. I'm looking out for that 200 if we can even get there, but I'll stay patient. I'll stay patient for that move to kind of come in. Softy, Google kind of, I talk about that 140 potential coming in. I got to wait and see how this 139 acts before I really want to get involved here. But we're holding above that 138. 137 was interesting as well. Some strong pre-market trend there. Definitely doing R-vol as well. So 139 pushing off of 139 as of right now. So let's see how well this sustains. Like I said, I think I do a little bit better when I stay a little patient. Oh wow, Mara's gone.
Oh,
holy
shoot right now. Let's go, man. Let's get this money bag going through. What time do the bars open around here? This is a huge move for Mara. We are almost done right now. That was $1.25 in right there. What a good move that is. What? Someone just said SoFi broke. Oh no. Okay, SoFi's right here at 10 bucks. So let's watch out. This was a big level yesterday for SoFi. We're going to have to watch out for that one now, as it just broke 10 and failed on that break of 10 bucks. This is not on my radar, unfortunately, so I'm going to pass on it just for now. Google, we'll have to watch out for that. AMD is always on this guy's radar, but let's just watch out for it right here. The market is kind of doing the dance that we thought it would do. We said watch out for VWAP and then a test of 17,000, but as long as we stay underneath it, we're all good. So let's let this sort of float up, see what happens at 17,000. We're only in one name, and we just took $1.40 on it, or we got out at 25s there, so 24s. Look at this move. That is, wow. I mean, again, like we just got out there. Like, did we just get lucky on Mara or what? Mara coming back in pretty good right now. Is the rest of, look at that market fading off of VWAP again. Damn, this is good. We should have shorted some of those names. Roblox falling back in as well right now as we were waiting for that 45 break, but that's not coming in. That's actually Tank City right now. Watch out for 43.50 coming in on Roblox. I'm going to sit there with a bid.
Yeah, that Google screaming to 140. 140 only about a quarter away there. I was a little late. I look away and it snapped up 50 pennies to 139 halves there. And I was like, I'm trying to get long 139. That doesn't really come in too well here. So let's see how this 140 break comes in. You know what? I'm gonna try to get my order ready for this trade right here.
All right.
I can, okay, yeah, that's the right one. Let me just do that, and that's how much I want to cross.
All right, I'm going to try a small little trade here on Alibaba, as we'll just let Obi get all set up here. Yep. All right, come over here, Fabian, thank you so much. All right, Alibaba right now, we're gonna try a long. We did miss the long there initially on Alibaba, but we have it now, 74.50 bottom. We're gonna try to average into it, but here we go. We are into Alibaba right now. We're only a dime in the money. Mara is retracing back up. We're not completely out of it. We did talk about that a little bit here. So let's get some more out if we can now on Mara. Let's just take a 97 fill. So we'll do that, ring a little bit of a register there on MARA, and now let's see where we go. So again, we still have shares. We can get out some more more and more and more as we go. Alibaba with a nice move down. We talked about that. And look what Alibaba is doing. Sorry to interrupt you, but that's another 25-cent winner as we're going to go 2 for 2 to start the day again here today. Look at Alibaba, another sticky note name. Mara long, Alibaba long, 2 for 2 on those. I hope you guys are enjoying it. And then let's watch out for Google right now coming through as well. There it is, breaking through that 140. So Google also feeling some kind of ways. But Alibaba now 50 cents. I mean, come on, what exactly are we doing? We're in the damn building again today, man. Are you having fun yet, or what?
Oh yeah,
I mean, here we go, man. This is 50 cents.
I'm locked in
Sometimes
right
I get
now.
the stoic Neil over there. Huh?
The 140 break was awesome there. So I'm kind of lost in the sauce a little bit, staring at this tape. We got long 130. Should have gone long 139s, but 139 halves. I kind of got a little chasey there. I was like, okay, all right, if this is gonna go, I'm not gonna let it go. Sure, I'm willing to kind of expand my risk to 50 pennies there and take the move as that 140 comes in real hot. And yeah, we just have our last piece right there, so I'll take that off right there. So that 140 break, that's what I was looking for. Let's see what we do. We're coming from 138 halves, and we're coming from way further in the pre-market, 136s. Now this could continue through that 140, but again, my execution not the best there. Literally, it was the difference, Sean. It was the difference between like just a couple of seconds. I look away. I'm like, okay, 139 is holding. Let me look away to at Amazon for a second because that's running as well into the 155. I look back and we're trading 139 halves. I'm like, well, okay, well, I can definitely chase this with the type of pressure that's happening, but I do have to stay very nimble. And as you can see, we're breaking right back through that 140, and now we're testing 139 halves. So it's a good thing. I respected those reasons to sell at the 140 halves there. But 155 on Amazon coming in real hot as, again, yesterday we failed to follow through that 155, and I did want to transact with that level. 153 all the way up to 154 halves right now on Amazon. Oh boy, did I miss that?
Oh boy, there it
break.
is.
And yeah, that 140 kind of coming in on Google as well. We'll stay a little bit more patient. Like I said, I tend to do a little bit better. I've noticed when I am patient for structure to form and then take trades off of said structure there. But that 17,000 coming in real hot on the NQs as we're pushing back up through this consolidation that we've been making since about 1 a.m. started at like 1 a.m. the quadunk that we had in the morning session there. 155 knocking on the door. Amazon, wow.
And by the way, I just read my notes. It said buy Google dips on VWAP. So guess what we did?
Was that VWAP?
Oh, it was VWAP, my friend. There it is. It's a nice move back up to the upside, 139.50. We just bought 139.45s, and now that's 30 cents in the money. We're 30 cents in the money on Alibaba. We're 30 cents in a brand new position on Google. We just topped out on Mara and got out of that one a little bit. We do have about 20% left on Mara, but we're just going to wait. We've already topped it out right there. We actually have less than 20%. Actually, we have about, yeah, in between 15 and 20% left on that one. Okay, Google. Again, we're just going to wait for it. Roblox did bounce back up, so we are waiting for that one to get going. Google up at 140. I know my guy over there just talked about it. So let's get another piece out here at 139.87. Why did I just put it there? Let's see if we can get back up there. Oh, 86 is just filled. Did we get that? No, we did not. There it is right there. Oh my gosh. That's another 50 cents right there, or 45 cents for Google as it's starting to go back up to the upside. Man, today is once again looking like it's going to be another good day. The name is Roblox, and it is in the building now as well. Watch out for 45. That dip down there. I was staring this. That's going to, we were talking about it when this happened. Remember, I was like, oh, there goes Roblox down to the downside, but we should have bought that up. It's just, remember we said this before, trading is not easy, and you're going to write down names that are going to absolutely be the wrong way. There's going to be some times that you're going to come in and something like this is going to happen on Roblox. You're going to buy the dip because you believe in it, then it's going to run you over. So right now, we'll wait for Roblox to come back in downside a little bit, but we got Adara. What's up?
Yeah, this is really interesting. Red Hill, RDHL moving to the upside, almost up 30% right now after announcing the results of a study funded by the U.S. Army showing that their Ebola treatment has positive study results here. Keep an eye on RDHL.
Ooh, I like that. I like that little back and forth there. What do I think about Aritzia going into Santa Claus Rally? Santa Claus Rally starts on December 22nd, which is in 2 days. We'll look at Aritzia in a minute, Jordan. For me to look at names right now is going to be a little bit difficult because we're running 3 positions and it's 9:38. All right, so I like the DocuSign dip buy opportunities. I still want to be able to buy this potentially off the show. I'm going to read that report, but we did sell some names yesterday and got some capital. So I don't want to be in cash right now. Like I want to be in cash, but I'm getting that position is getting bigger. So possibly putting some money to work there with DocuSign. We did talk about that one. Another name that we've sold the top, which not been the top, which by the way, Google right now is trying to break 140. That's been cash money as well. Look at Shopify. Shopify's so darn strong. I sold some of this name, and see, this is me just being wrong again. I sold in here. 60, I mean, we did this live on the show. I think it must have been on the Canadian side because I think the price was more like 105, 108, something like that. But anyways, into here, thinking that we got top heavy. Well, now you're $10 off, and it's up. So watch out for Shopify trying to get longer as well. My eyes are on Roblox, but of course Google working again as well as we've gotten pieces out. Only 40% out though, Obi, of that one. And then Alibaba, we're waiting to get more in on this name. And it looks like we could have just had that opportunity as well as Alibaba making moves higher. Look at this market. Guess what level we're dancing around?
17,000.
Sorry, Sharif, I couldn't hear you. You have 13 eggs in your mouth over there. 17,000 right now. I know Sharif just goes, $2,000. Don't put him on the screen. Come on, man. The man is eating. Yo, I don't know if that was Ramin or Fabian, but I would go fight that guy right now if I was you.
Calling me out, bro.
I'm not the one putting you on camera eating, dude. All right, so anyways.
Not ready for it.
Yeah, it's all good. This is why, this is what we're having is fun, right? We're having fun. Shout out to Sharif, obviously a great spirit. So, okay, watch out for this. We want to be long Alibaba, but the areas of concern for me, and again, we are a little bit negative on the day. I'm still thinking that way, although we're breaking through 17,000. This 73, 73.50 area, so that's going to be something to watch out for. We're not even close to that, so I feel like if we do lose this pre-market bottom, we're going to get out of Alibaba. So now that we've sort of discussed the trade area there, we always want to do that, right? Because I think that's really the value. I mean, I think we give a lot of value, and I hope everyone thinks that as well. But part of the value is discussing what our plan of action is on all the trades. So like right now, we'll buy some more dips in Alibaba, and quite frankly, I'm just going to buy it right now. Shout out to Frank Caberna from IG. Make sure you go check those guys out, IG.com. Let's just buy some right now. It's back into the 200 period. We bought a little bit. I'm waiting for more dips in. We're now below VWAP, which is worrying me a little bit. But if this market wants to go, I still think that China is something that we can support as far as a trade idea. So let's just sit here, watch out, see if this wants to work. But there we go. We just bought some dips in Alibaba. And we're really excited today, man. Mara's here. We've already had this twice. I don't know. Like I said, man, like I'm glad to be here and spin these for you. That's back-to-back days. I asked you when I came in yesterday about the Dollar Club. We're spinning it again here today, so let's go. It's $1 for Mara, and we're hoping that we can get $1 for this Google trade as well. As soon as we break through this 140, that's the level of concern. The high of the day is that 140.50. Those are actually where my targets are. I have a target here at 140.30. That's my next offer for how you call it, Google.
Yeah, I'm patiently waiting. I took the Google trade. I'm waiting for. I saw that 155 come in real hot on Amazon, and I'm like, all right, well, for the past 2 days, we've only had sellers at that 155. We even got a little bit of confirmation when that 155 fails to follow through, and with the NQ raging to the upside, you can see that it's blasting through that 17,000, showing some solid strength there. 155 comes in, but gets sold back off pretty aggressively back down to 154 halves. So I'm still patiently waiting. I'm watching for this structure to build. Now, if those sellers are going to continue to be there at that 155, I want to see them kind of stay and hold it down while the NQ blasts to the upside. Take a look at what this thing is doing, blasting 20 points off the 17,000, kind of just like teleporting back up through to where we sold off from in the pre-market session there at 2 a.m. 1740s is where we're pushing right back into. But if that 155 stays heavy, even when the market's doing this, I'm curious to know what it'll do when the market slows down and pulls back a little bit. So that 155 selling may come right back in. I do have that idea as one of my top ideas to interact with the 155. Again, it's an over-under. I want to stay a little bit flexible, but I am a little bit more leaning on the short side just based off of the limited data that we've printed at this level over the past couple of days. But if the market's going to be super, super strong, strong here, and I'm watching Google as well. That was a solid long off of VWAP. We've only held VWAP on Google, so the continuation trade, I think that's kind of becoming stronger. The idea for that trade to come to fruition is becoming stronger as long as we hold and solidify above VWAP. I think the push through 140 may come in a little bit later on today as well. Same thing with that 155. VWAP on Amazon is,
Oh my
one
God.
second. VWAP on Amazon is 153.95, so just underneath the 154. So we're consolidating above this level. We're consolidating here on 140s as well. I'm curious to know what we do in and around this 17th thou. Again, I mentioned this yesterday. I like that 17th thou as a potential area of interest, and I'm really curious to see what price action does in and around these areas. Now, again, I haven't really seen it. I never saw it when we pushed that 16th thou. I wasn't paying as close of attention, but I do want to pay some more attention this time around as we're pushing past another 1,000-point level. Again, every about 100 points, the NQ has a little bit of a consolidation. Sometimes if it's there, it's there. But I haven't really been familiar with every 1,000 points, so I do want to stay a little bit aware of this level here. But that 155 holding as of right now. If the market pulls back from here, let's see if those sellers step back in on Amazon underneath 155.
So I just got another piece out of Google there, mid-80s. I just want to say shout out to Will Evans. I absolutely murdered the Tesla long. And then I got to give a big shout out over here as well to Jamie, who said, hey, you guys remember when Sean said buy Tesla off 255 this morning? Thanks, Jamie, and thanks for bringing that up. And I'm just glad that everybody did that, or those of you that did that. I was saying that I really like Tesla down at this level, but did want to let it calm down for just a little bit. Remember I said you could buy 255s, and I was saying 30 to 40% of your position and then hold it back down to 253. Well, right there, you just got your 250 or so. So if you are using, and I'm just bringing this up because I'm not in it and I want to discuss trades. So if you are in this, you just got that 250, you actually got $3. Might be worth it if you are using that 253 to get something out around now, because that will at least get you 1-to-1, if not better than that. And I just want to say a big, huge congratulations to all of you out there that have traded Tesla this morning, especially off that 255. Good look and good call for you guys on that one. All right, a new position alert, and guess what? Look, I mean, you're sitting beside me. I mean, you can see Alibaba 1 for 1, Google 2 for 2, Intel 3 for 3, Mara 4 for 4 today. So we're on fire to start the day again, but it's only 9:46. So let's wait to see how much we can get more than where we are right now. Nice bottom pick there for Intel. Get it back up to the upside. For some reason, the market ripped and Intel tanked. So we'll wait to see if Intel can apologize to the market and see if it can get back up to the upside right now on that one. So it looks like it's trying to do that. So I'll accept your apology, but I will also take some out right now and spin this one more time for Intel. So I'll accept your apology, but you got to pay. You got that VIG right now in the market. So that's what you're going to go ahead and do right now. Shout out to Sebastian Maniscalco, my guy right there with Bookie. It's a new HBO Max show called Bookie, and it's all about gambling. And he is a bookie. Okay. And it's really fun. So it was a good show. The wife and I are starting to watch that. We're on episode, it's over. Oh, well, episode 5 or episode 6 just played. New series. I like it. Have you guys seen that, by the way, there in the chat? Have you seen that, Bookie?
No, I haven't.
Bookie.
I think the last, kind of financial related show that I watched was the Bernie Madoff documentary on Netflix. It was so good. I really liked the way they kind of picturized it. I think it's pretty solid and kind of covers the story along and kind of gives you some food for thought as well in terms of the trading world. Anyways, Apple very, very strong here. Again, I'm watching out for that 200 push. We know that 200 is very, very close, only about a point and a half, 2 points away from these levels here. Again, to yesterday we tested some of these levels. 197 was an interesting level. We've picked up off of that, holding VWAP at 196 and change, holding above 197 as well, testing 198, and a little bit of a slow grind up. If the NQ kind of continues back towards the high side, we're holding above that 17th thou. I'm curious to know if Apple's going to continue to hold VWAP there. Again, if we're going to be pushing into 200 anytime today. Again, this is a 1 minute chart. Let me clean that up here, throw on a larger time frame. Yeah, take a look at this. I put this line up a few days ago there, so I guess it's a missed trade for me as well, not being aware of my own kind of technicals on my chart. And yeah, I was like, Apple, very, very strong trend off of last week. Since the beginning of December, these dips keep on getting bought up, and look at exactly where we open up today, and look at where the bid comes in. Real hot off that 196, opening up right at the trend. So yeah, this is something I definitely have to playbook a little bit better and get involved when this kind of trade shows up. Look at that consolidation and holding and respecting that multi-time frame trend, even in the pre-market chop. And then off the open, you get a nice little lick grab of that trend, and you blast up about 1.5 points, which is a decent amount for Apple there. 198's coming into play there. So very, very strong on the day, along with the NQs as well. I don't know if we're going to come into that 200 just now, but I'll definitely be looking for a VWAP bid on Apple if it can get down there. And I know Google, Sean was talking about that VWAP hold, and we've done nothing but hold VWAP as of right now. So if this name is going to be a strong contender for continuation, I want to see that VWAP hold. So we're coming into that right now. So let's see how well we do with in and around those VWAPs there. I did get a little bit short on the Amazon as well, underneath that strong wick of that 55. Again, looking for that market pullback to come in as well. Here comes Google into VWAP, so I'm going to be watching how VWAP acts, if there are any buyers that are showing up and kind of leading the pressure at VWAP. That could be a decent signal there as well.
Yeah, I'm good job there, Obi, with going over some of that. All right, so I'm kind of the same way right now, just figuring out what positions we have and starting to get a little bit lighter on them, right? We talked about emptying out some of the Google there. We still have 40%, but it's not going up as much as, well, as soon as I say that, it starts to go.
Yeah, right off of VWAP.
Isn't that funny?
40 pennies.
Right off. And again, like right off VWAP, it just ripped 40 pennies, right?
Yeah.
And so
they might be there. Buyers may or may not be there on VWAP. Just saying.
yeah, I mean, may or may not be is true, but you know what may or may not be truth as well is what, as it was written. Shout out to Nas and shout out also to the sticky note. You know, I'm not going to make anybody read this. I'll read it myself. You know, Google's super strong here. We talked about that. Okay, be careful with it. 52-week high. Look what it says right here. 136 is a pipe dream at this point. I mean, because when I wrote this, it was more than a pipe dream. It was a legitimate dream. But then I said, at this point, might have to wait for a dip to
VWAP.
VWAP. So I mean, it's just like, please, just go. It's all free. It's not like I'm like, you know, what is it called when you're just pushing stuff? I was gonna say. Pumping? Yeah, pumping is not really. What is pumping is this. Right now. Like, what I'm saying is people do work like this and then they try to sell you stuff, right? The watches.tradertv.live, completely free. Although I think we should charge for it. Sticky note, completely free as well.
You should probably be charging for that.
Probably should charge for that. Nah, we're not charging for anything. The point of what I'm getting at is definitely, we talked about this with the midday show, is, you know, try to get better and understand kind of, you know, your pre-market preparation or what you're doing. So all we're giving you guys here with Trader TV Live is multiple resources. Neil has something as well. You're using a sticky note thing right there as well. And I know there's some traders out there that do the same thing.
Someone may or may not have influenced me.
Well, they may confluenced you or influenced you?
Influenced.
But that's good. That's what we're.
This is really good. Again,
that's what I'm trying to do.
I really like the sticky note because I come up with like a meticulous plan, kind of writing down details and stuff. This is great just to have as a reminder to be like, these are the prices that your plan is coming in at. So are you going to be ready for interacting?
Well, I mean, look at the plan.
Nice and concise as well. Right?
I mean, look at the plan on Google. I mean, there it is. We let it rip up. It comes right back into VWAP, and we bought it. The problem is we didn't buy it the last time, right there. So everything is good, but let's go over to Adara.
Guys, keep an eye on this steel case here. SCS is the ticker here, up about 3.5%, actually breaking 52-week highs. Initially trading lower off of some mixed earnings here, but now we are moving back to the upside on SCS, guys.
All right, real quick, just some business to attend to, because honestly, man, it is getting to the point where if you don't apply immediately to this program, you're probably going to miss it. If you're not in Canada, just hit the apply now and get the details, right? This is campus. You can learn exactly the same way we are. It's like a surge trader, but absolutely no money. So you have to apply, get accepted into this. You're going to go through all the different phases, learn everything. And this is what we're doing. We're trying to kick it off, give you something that the market already has, but that we can bring you in. It's just called campus.daytradetheworld.com. So again, you don't have to be in school, but it's a campus, it's a school program. It does fit well for those of you that are in a program. Maybe you're doing classes a couple times a week, a couple hours a week. Get into this, man. There's trading goals and there's training. That says trading goals in TMS, right? So that's our paper trading system. And then into live. So once you get going on that, you got to hit apply now. It's very simple. Here, I'll do it live for you. There it is. Fill it out right here. Don't put my name, put yours. Get that all going. Very, very simple. Apply today because guess what, Obi? January 2nd is when it all starts. So if you're not in ASAP, I mean, January 2nd, we're just talking about this. Again, we're season ticket holders for the PWHL, which is the new Women's Hockey League. And that game starts January 1st. And that is fast approaching. So get applied, get ready to rock and roll. And
oh my God,
Google's approaching back near day's high.
That VWAP hold, man. Again, you have to be quick with the moves there. Again, as I was talking, I kind of fumbled that trade. I was like, okay, well, let's see if the buyers at VWAP show up. And as we said that, it kind of slaps up 40 pennies instantly off of that back into the 140, and now going through the 140, kind of pushing towards fresh highs above the 140 halves. So again, I got to stay patient with this one. I tried that short on Amazon, kind of risking those previous highs, and it's showing me some strength. So I'll stay a little bit more patient. I wanted to interact with that 155, so I'll stay around for that 155 to kind of show me a little bit more distinct pressure off of that level, or even on top of that level as well. But the market pushing off that 17,000 and the ES. Here's the thing. Last all-time high, Sean, was 48.08. Look at this consolidation in the morning, right? We held above previous structure. We made a little bit of a smaller structure here just in the pre-market, and now we're blasting through that. But that hold and this push back up above previous highs is definitely a little bit distinct kind of action for me. And yeah, I'll be watching that. Let's see if we kind of continue off of this hold off of previous highs as well. That 17,000 holding, I like that as well. This consolidation still has to go through from, when is this? This is from last night. Last night, kind of 1748. I do have that written down as well. 1746 is yesterday's high. So let's see what we do with yesterday's high. If the week is going to print green, we have to push past previous day's highs to kind of accomplish that as well. So I'll be looking for that to come into fruition potentially. But this 155 still holding down as of right now. So I'll stay a little bit more patient. I don't have anything else too much on the board there. I'll look at some of these other names. I had AMD. Let's see how Mara is doing first before we go to AMD though. So I'll take a look at this one right here. Mara came back off of that 24, kind of coming back into that VWAP. Strong bid in the pre-market. I think if these bidders are any sign of real buyers kind of coming in. If the price does drop as it is, as I'm talking, let's see if the bidders kind of step back up at any time. But that's a strong quadunk back down to the downside off of that 24 test. So I'll stay a little bit more patient for that Mara. I do have 22 on my list here, 22 being all the way down here. I did not expect us to gap and go like that strong in the pre-market itself. So we'll let that consolidate. We'll let that sort itself out. I see Softy kind of chopping around that range as well. So that's something we got to leave alone as well.
Yeah, good talk there. I was just saying that we do have, in just a couple minutes, I just want to remind everybody, we have consumer confidence coming through.
Yes.
And then we have existing home sales, both of which I think are going to be blast off numbers. I really think that consumer confidence is super high right now. We'll see if that can go. Needless to say, and then new home sales. I mean, this is another thing that I was talking about with passive investing. And I think on the podcast, we'll probably start talking a little bit more about longer term trades and things like that, just to spice it up a little bit. Look at the XHB. This is the home
builders.
Yeah, home builders. Look at this. Look at this.
I was talking to you about this a few weeks ago.
Yes,
They're pushing
sir.
all-time highs.
Yes,
yeah.
sir. Pushing. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're gone.
Took
They're
them
way
out like
past
crazy.
that. Yeah.
So you could watch out for Lennar here as well as Toll Brothers. I mean, all these stocks just look absolutely, Obi, they look fantastic. All these names, and then they're just not barcoding, but trying to find a base, more upside to come. So you can look at some of those names as those come through. All right, yeah. So like I said, remember we said we had 15% tomorrow. Well, we still do, but I'm going to average it out. If it does come in down to 2250 was the level that I wrote down on the sticky note. So again, trying to stick to plan. The Google buy VWAP's been perfect. The Mara getting out, like I said, we're out of 85. More than that, it's like 87%. I have 13% left on Mara, buying BABA, and then looking for Roblox. So I'm going to use 2250, and then I'm going to get out like if we break. I was thinking about below this level here of 2220 or so if we're going to be wrong on Mara. We have not been wrong. We will not be giving back what we've made on it, but definitely could fall down in right now. We have happening now with Adara, and then in 15 seconds, 2 numbers that she's going to drop for us. So let's go.
Yeah, we are just waiting for these numbers to come in here. CB Consumer Conference. The previous was 102, consensus and forecast 104. We're also waiting here on these. Oh, we just got in consumer confidence coming in at 110.7, so above the previous and the forecast and consensus. Existing home sales here coming in at 3.82 million compared to the consensus of 3.77 and 3.79, and existing home sales month over month coming in at 0.8% here. So definitely higher than the consensus of negative 0.5, guys. In terms of the market itself, coming up a little bit now, SPY seeing a bit of an increase. We were negative before these numbers, now moving to the upside off of this data, guys. In terms of other individual stocks moving, General Mills here, GIS is the ticker. This one to the downside following some mixed earnings that we got yesterday, or sorry, this morning before open. We also have Wells Fargo here downgrading Zoom, ZM, on the NQ here, moving down about 2% after a downgrade to underweight with a new price target. Brought to you by Surge Trader, where traders can get a funded trading account up to $1 million and keep up to 90% of the profits. The program has simple rules, no time limits. Just go to surgetrader.com/TTV and use the promo code TTV for 10% off.
Thank you, Adara. And I don't know if you heard right before we went to the break, I said both of these numbers will be higher. Both came higher. Existing home sales 3.82 versus 3.78. Consumer confidence 110. Remember I said like consumer confidence will be way higher. Yeah, how about 8%? Like it was 110 versus 103. So give it like 6 and a bit % higher on consumer confidence. But the thing is, the market's not necessarily doing anything on that number. It went up, it went down. I mean, look at this. This is how liquidity is these days. The market ripped up to 17,030 and then all the way back down, another 25 handles or so back in, and now you're starting to go up. So I got a little bit nervous there. Everything's fine. We're not nervous, but I did get nervous because the market didn't react. So we did take a piece out of Alibaba. I canceled my Google. I still think we go up to the high of the day. We'll see if we can get that going. Mara, nice bounce back in Mara. And I feel like let's just take a piece out now. I mean, we're still going to hold this. We're still in, there we go, we take some 24s. We're still in Mara, and I still like it. It's just, let's just be careful with it now as it's starting to bounce around. So there we go. Now we have 5% left. So we're basically out of Mara and hoping to get a little bit more on that. Trade it, and again, if it comes back in, let's buy a little bit here just to see. That could be something that does work out for us. A nice downside push into 2280 for Mara. And then, the other name that I got out there, sorry, I was like struggling with what names I exited there. The other name that we got out of was Intel, another piece. So 20, 40, 60, 80, only 20% left of Intel as well, Obi.
Yeah. So again, those numbers bringing in a little bit of a shake out there. I saw the NQ kind of pump to the upside there, and I was like, oh, that 155 might be coming in if the NQ is going to react like that to those numbers, but we kind of wick off of those levels there, kind of sellers from the morning or the afternoon. Was that the morning session? Yeah, that's the morning session, 2 a.m., kind of coming right back in and around those areas. 1736 I see is where the selling really start to accelerate there. So I'll stay patient. That 155 is a little bit of trouble right now. It's a very very choppy zone. Maybe we're accumulating here at the 154 halves. We've held above VWAP. VWAP's 154.18, so we're doing nothing but holding above VWAP and consolidating off of a morning drive that pushed past pre-market highs in and around 153 and change, 154 almost as well, and we're consolidating above that. So 140 is coming in on Google once again there, Sean. I think, again, the reload off of the VWAP is definitely the move here.
Yes.
You were definitely right on that on that trade there, and we're pushing past that 140. So I said I'm going to be waiting for that VWAP to come in. I was looking for exactly VWAP, but I think if you're looking exactly for VWAP and the trade is a little strong off that idea, you might not want to wait exactly for VWAP there. 10, 15, 20 pennies above that is perfectly fine, it would seem. And take a look at that blasting through the upside there. Are you still long, Sean?
What?
Google?
Yeah, man.
Beauty.
Yeah, man. That's what's good. Like now, see, now we've got, the Padawans coming through. I like this. There is $1 right now. Spin it for Google. So yeah, we're still long that one. Off the VWAP dip buy, and we still like it. We like it a lot there for Google, as we are just Rip City. The other thing that's moving up, man, and again, just not sometimes you have to trust your initial read. I'm just going to say congratulations to absolutely everybody out there that trusted the read on Google, on Tesla. Like, look, we're going to go, so we missed this trade, but again, congratulations. Watch out for 260. We talked about that level coming through. Looks like our 280 call is now much better looking. All right, so look, we have Alibaba, that's a win, right? Google, come on, we've already talked about that. That's a huge win. Intel, why did it drop in the first place? I don't know. We bought that up as well. And then Mara's been probably my best trade right there today with MARA as we keep on going to the upside. So I know we all trade different, right? But there's another day of 4 for 4 right there with the calls. And it's not like Google right now. Now what's come into play here is what we talked about, the 141.22. 141.22 is the 52-week high for Google. Not all-time highs for Google. I keep confusing Google and Amazon all the time, about what levels they're at right now, because Amazon I think is what, 170 or so. Google's is 170. Yeah, okay, so here we go. So we're getting close, man. It's 150 right there for Google on the all-time high, and we're getting close to that one. And that's, again, like, couldn't be happier with it. But we've already seen the all-time high. Like, I've already been a shareholder up at all-time highs. There it is. Yeah, so it's Amazon is the one that's a little further, up at 170, 180. Thank you so much, Randy. I drank a third of the one that you brought the first time. Thank you so much, Randy. Tesla right now, Randy, the belle of the ball, really ripping up now. Today is Tesla. Thank you so much, Randy, for the reload in the coffee. But let's go, Obi. Take us to the promised land here. Great trade on Google, man.
141. Yeah, I definitely have to come back to it. It was the top idea that I had, and if it's holding that VWAP, I do have to be involved. So I missed it. I missed it a couple times there, and we're pushing back into target there. 141 area right here, coming in real hot as we're pushing to the upside. Again, take a look at the NQ. NQ's blasting off. I said kind of these sellers might be showing up again from before, but I'm absolutely wrong on that. We're kind of blasting right back through some of those levels there. 17 thou strength really coming in, and then that 4808 hold as well in the pre-market, pushing off of that consolidation base as well. I'm waiting for that 155, man. That thing's going to come in pretty soon there if the market continues to rage up like this, and if it doesn't, well, I think I'll have my answer there as to what the pressure at that 155 really looks like. But that 141 coming in right now there, Sean, I don't really see too much size sitting at that level there. So potential for just slicing through it like butter. But yeah, let's see. We'll see that 141 come in. I'll stay a little bit more patient. I missed that trade, but that is what it is. What it is. I can be more patient and wait for other opportunities. Again, we were talking about. Yesterday, looking at the times that you really make money there, and we were kind of talking about that at the floor meeting yesterday. And I think that being a little bit patient and really analyzing the times of day that you are making money and you're not making money really can give you a perspective on where you want to size a little bit differently, or maybe a little wait around for your time to come in. And again, being a little patient, like I've said, I'll say it again, being a little patient has worked a little bit better for me than kind of pushing into moves right off the bat. But that's just my case here. And I think that, again, sure, I missed a couple of opportunities, but there's nothing lost there. More opportunities definitely going to be available, I have no doubts. And if they're not there, they're not there. That 155 still coming in, and not everything on our plan has hit just yet. But if the market's going to continue to rage to the upside, I'm sure we'll have some other tickers to kind of interact with as well. But yeah, let me know in the chat what you guys are trading as well. Like I mentioned earlier, not too many names on the list today. So if you guys have any decent ideas that could be setting up later on as well, I'm more than willing to kind of come up with a plan for the midday, for the later end of the day as well, in and around some of those ideas. Again, we can potentially come up with those trade ideas. 141 acting as a little bit of resistance as of right now. I'll be patiently waiting at VWAP to see if that kind of holds there. I don't want to necessarily take that reversion back in, even though the target, one of my targets was, as Sean mentioned, that 52-week high at the 141 and change, 141.22s, and we pretty much made it up there, 20 pennies just shy of that level. But that 155 still holding as of right now. Let's take a quick look at some of these other large caps as well, so we can get a little bit of a pulse on some of these constituents. So we'll start off with the Apple to begin with, and yeah, holding VWAP. Take a look at that strength, consolidating, a strong consolidation above this 197. So poised for that 200 break. Whether it comes in today or this week, we'll have to wait and find out. But again, tailwind from the NQs will definitely help out on that idea there. Softy's the next one. Softy still consolidating well within its opening range here, so a bit of an inside action. Strong flush off the open, but holding VWAP it seems to be a little bit of a trend across the board today. So we'll just move on to the Google. Google again holding VWAP very, very well, and consolidating, kind of building up. Not really a flat consolidation, but a nice uptrending consolidation. You can see, even though these are 3-minute candles, we're holding VWAP and we're only making higher lows and pushing volume on the break. So that's just confirmation of potential trend continuation there. And if we are going to have a trend continuation, there's more than enough time to get involved. If we're going to go up and to the right by the end of the day, I'm looking to get involved into some healthy pullbacks there on Google. But Amazon still waiting for that 155. This consolidation kind of significant, I think. We've seen selling come in at this level. Again, strong action into the 155. The next day we failed to follow through. Strong selling, and then again strong action into the 155. I don't know what happens next, but we'll wait and find out. So the next name, again, on my constituents is Meta. Meta is definitely up there as well now. We talk about some of these tech names being overweighted or strongly weighted in the futures there. So we kind of wipe yesterday's range. We came back in, and we're pushing back through this 355, 354 area. Yesterday's high being 353 and some change. We pushed above that. It's holding VWAP again. Very, very strong on the day is Meta. Let's take a quick look at our friend here, Tesla, as well. Tesla pushed off that 255. Oh boy, this was a consolidation low of yesterday, end of day consolidation, and we hold that strength quite well, and a bit of a lick grab of pre-market lows as well. So a little bit of a multiple setup there on the Tesla opening drive off the dip through VWAP, so multiple places to get involved there. But again, I wasn't necessarily looking at it, but decent price action, kind of reflecting what these futures are doing. And yeah, it's kind of a quadrunk back down into VWAP. Let's see what VWAP does in and around this area. Here comes 155 on Amazon, real hot. About 600 lots sitting at the dollar there. We've been building up into it pretty nicely. A bit of a chop and churn through this level, so I'll be a little bit patient here. Sure, you can take the break, and it just does break, but I'm not expecting it to be that clean as of right now. But again, a little bit more patience on my part, I think, is warranted.
Yeah, good talk there for sure. All right, let's just keep the course here. And the reason what I was going to say is that it looks like the NASDAQ wants to take out now yesterday's highs. So maybe I can zoom in just a little bit for this. So we are like right here, right now, right? Obviously the NASDAQ is now green on the day, but this is just turned green. So we're just at this level now of 17,050 for the NASDAQ. So this is leading me. I actually just had an offer to get out of Google and I just canceled it right here at 75. I was really thinking about ending this trade now, but then I was hearing what you were saying, and I just think that maybe there is a chance that this market just continues the rest of the day, and if there's any dip buy opportunities, we'll also be there to dip buy them. But then if we let go of our longs, then we no longer have the long. It's like what Sharif was talking about earlier, or Brendan, I think, had the story, and so did Sharif, about FOMO in the market. It's like if you've already missed the long, then yeah, you're going to be sitting there saying, where's the long? You know, and we have it. So why not kind of stay the course is what I'm thinking here with Google. We just touched the 52-week high of 141.22. We got as high today as, what is it, 103, so about 2 dimes away from that level. We can easily get to that. All right, NVIDIA. Oh, the other name that I sold, I was just looking at it right now, I was thinking about doing it, was Uber. So that was another name that we sold off a little bit there today. I feel like it's up today. I'm going to have a look. All right. Do you want to stand in front of the train?
No.
No.
Man,
you're learning, Obi. I like that. All right. Well, here comes. No, but think about what your problem you told me was. You are known in our chat as the guy that goes against the trend.
Yeah, a little.
And you know that yourself.
Yeah, and that's why I was putting such a strong emphasis on kind of voicing out the trend is your friend, the trend is your friend. That's me more. That's more to help myself out,
right?
Because I know that's a better way to kind of view and kind of structure yourself around the market. But yeah,
you're not wrong, dude.
I do want to short this 155, but until it doesn't show me that weakness, I'm not going to do anything with it. But again, a little bit of an over under. But yeah, you're definitely right. I do.
No, but that's why I asked you that question. You guys said the right answer. I was like, here comes a freight train, right?
Getting better with it. It's a work in progress.
Yeah. No, it's all good. But look what NVIDIA just did there, though, Obi. We just got to 500 and then dropped about $1.50 and then came right back. I am taking this break long of 500. So I'm going to take this break long, and yeah.
Wasn't Netflix was close to that 500 as well?
I just want to. I got to get a trade. Like if it, I feel like I got to hold this back to 498. Let's just buy some 498s then. All right, let's put a bid down there in and around 498, just in case we get that little flush back down right there. So we'll buy some of that. 498, like, I'm going to put it close. Like, I'm going to put it at quarters. I'm going to go to 498 quarter. Let's see. All right, so I put it at 498 quarter down there for a bid. Again, VWAP and 50 period. The thing is, what I was really dealing with was the VWAP is actually, it looks like it's at, and I don't really want it to lose that, 497.50. So, okay, so that's fine. So 75 cents worth of risk, perfectly fine for me. And I don't want to hold it to this 496.50. That's the bottom. And if you want to hold for that, fine. It's just, I just put an amount of shares there that I'm happy losing between 75 cents and $1. And then if we do lose it and it comes back into here, we can retest that. Like we can get long, right? If it comes back in and we fail, I'd rather just get out at 497.50 and be wrong, and then regroup down here at 496.50. So again, not really worth it for me to be completely bad or wrong on this trade, because now we've seen it once right off the open. That first push, we got to 499.80. Then that last push, wait a second, did we actually break 5 bills there? 506 cents. Okay, no, so it's showing 499.99. So that's good. So we've got there once, twice, and then now 3 times. So maybe that fade is in. But at the same time, if we test it again, why not break? Every single time we tested it, this one, we went down to 496.50. That's too far for me. We talked about that. If we do get the break, though, of 500, I'll probably play it at the start of this candle. So it looks like it, yeah, okay, here it comes back in. So, you know, probably about $1 or so worth of risk on all of these trades. So we'll wait out for that. I'm glad we sort of talked about it right there, because that is, in my opinion, a little bit of a tough trade to get on there for NVIDIA. So we'll wait. We are going to buy this dip into, just letting you know where my bid is, 498.25. That's coming in quicker than we thought maybe right now. Intel, nice move up for Intel. Is trying to take out VWAP as well. We did not reload that one. Look at the market, man, screaming. Yesterday's high, 17,050. Sorry, we've already broke yesterday's high, but we are looking at breaking through 17,0850. So let's watch out for that play.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna exercise some of this idea as of right now. See how that works. But we were talking about Netflix kind of getting close to that 500, right? And then look at this volume that kind of comes in off the VWAP hold, a very strong kind of bid back towards highs. And again, the markets are pumping as well, so that definitely helps out a little bit there. Bit of a continuation move on the Netflix as it's been kind of pumping to the upside almost every day. We'll take a look at a higher time frame here just to get a better perspective. Yeah, Google kind of pushing that 141.20s, that 52-week high coming in there, Sean. So you were spot on that assessment there. But yeah, take a look at Netflix right here. Kind of a strong multi-week trend. A bit of a large range happening as well on this trend up. But yeah, we're pushing into that 500 level, pretty much very, very close. So I'm curious to know whether that's going to happen today. Again, Netflix being, I don't know the ATR off the top of my head, but definitely well within 10 points of the move here as we're testing 497 here on Netflix. So, but real quick, let me just figure out what the ATR of Netflix is. NFLX. Let me just get that on. Okay, so the ATR is 10.62. So 10.62. So yeah, I was roughly in the ballpark of that. And yeah, we've done about let's say closing price of yesterday was 494. So yeah, we're well within range to push that 500 if we kind of continue off VWAP today. More than available within the ATR. This ticker does every single day there. So that 155 holding as of right now. I'm just testing out a cheeky little short there, but yeah, don't want to get into the way too much, too heavy if we're going to hold some of these levels. But this consolidation from last night here, again, I have 1746 marked on the NQ, and we pretty much, what is this wick high? We come up to 1747 as of right now. So I'm patiently waiting to see if this level has any sort of significance, and the market is raging to the upside. Let's see whether or not we come in for a little bit of a pullback. SPY pushing up to 475 as well. 475, a little bit of a potential area there. Here comes in the 155. Let's see if these sellers stay strong with this area. What's going on?
We have another one.
Pen?
I broke this pen a long time ago, so he has like shards of a pen right now. Okay, so what did we write down on here about Roblox? Just what level? At the very bottom.
Huge $45 level, looking long.
Yeah, so there it is. Roblox breaking right now. The chef is cooking. Let's see what happens right now with Roblox. Now 15 cents in the money. I thought I was on a different stock, so I got in and punched out, but it was not even any shares. So nice move back up to the upside here for Roblox. Now 16 cents in the money. So there it is, man. Baba 1 for 1, Google 2 for 2, Intel 3 for 3, Mara. Oh shoot, we are in Nvidia. I didn't even notice this. We got a nice little trade on Nvidia right now. We are now like 20 cents in the money there. 20 cents. We are 80 cents in the money. What am I doing over here? Losing my mind. That's what I'm doing. Shout out to M&M right now. Let's go over to the big desk with Adara, and I got to get out of this one. That was a nice trade, but I didn't get out.
There's some interesting small cap runners today, including Parazero. This one has run before. Right now, the news on PRZO is that it successfully completed a drone safety project with a leading Fortune 500 automotive manufacturer. So keep an eye on PRZO. Next, we have mentioned this one earlier as well, SCS. This is Steelcase. This one had an earnings conference around 10 a.m., basically saying that they're working hard on cost reduction, initially trading lower after this conference, seeing a nice move to the upside. Also, last but not least, LQDA. This one just coming out for Liquidia, winning a patent case against a different therapeutics company. This one, we did have a gap up here, a hold to the upside. Now still up about almost 30% right now, guys.
Oh man, a little bit of a panic attack. Thank you to everybody there in the chat. Someone, what's up, Mark Knight? Sean, winning money without even knowing. Yeah, it's not, money is not winning. That's for sure. Money is earned, and you know, that's why I do not want to like ever think that this trading is like, oh my God, I'm long, let's just hold this. Like it went in the money there. So I just took 40% out at 65 right there. It was only 40-cent winner, but again, because we are managing our Roblox, I'm in, like, we're gonna go 6 for 6 or whatever, but it's like we are very, I'm not happy. Like, I almost wish I would have got some more out of Roblox right here. Let's just see if it works. We're still ripping higher. I feel like we have it and we're fine. So let's just sit in here, see if this continues to work, man. Google is now, what if you're not $1 in the money, you're
$2.
$2 right there. So now that's Google, $2 in the money off of a very, very easily described trade where we said buy the dip off VWAP. So that was a good trade there. Mara's still working. Intel right now trying to get back up to the up. Yeah, shout out to Sticky Note Nation. What about Intel at 46.70? Why don't we just put an offer there? If we're lucky enough to get that, great. Don't know if we will, but 46.70 up to the upside there on Intel. And this is the thing, man. You're not, like, I know you're 1 or 2 for 2 or 1 for 2, but like that's what it's all about. It doesn't matter the amount of shares or the amount of shares or the amount of names that you trade. It's about being successful in the ideas that you trade. Yep. You know, for me, I'm not the guy that's going to sit here and say, let's take 10 shots and then the 9th one or the 11th one will win. I've never in my whole career seen that work out. So, I mean, for me, let's try to take the best trades we possibly can. And if they don't work, we have our targets and we have our outs. We have 3 red days this month, I think. It might even be 2. And that's because of exactly what you said, Obi, being patient and waiting for trades to develop. It's wait for your levels. Look at the names today. We're in Alibaba. That's a sticky note name that has only done this for us. Reloaded it twice, and now you're basically at the high of the day, sans that first push, right? Google, another one, the number 1 name on the watch list, the number 1 name on my sticky note, now $2 in the money. Intel, again, trade the game, right? It dropped down. We even said, even when I took this, I made a joke, I don't know if it was funny or not, but I was like, you know, something about Google going down and needs to get right back up. I forget what it was. I was like, I don't know why it's down here, but we're going to trade it. That was a good one, right? Mara, again, another name that is on the sticky note. So we knew about this name. We've been watching it go ham for a while. Let's trade it. So we did that. NVIDIA, come on, always in play. That's a good one. And then it's this Roblox trade that could be the losing trade here, as that took out 45. Thought there was a chance to go. We talked about break levels and whatnot yesterday, Obi. This is a fine time of day, man. 10, it just took out a good level, 10.30. Thought it could go. Let's see if Roblox still can. I do not want to throw this name out. So it's been a really good one. I want to thank everybody for watching. And the one thing you could do, leave your comments, leave whatever, but definitely do this.
Hola, like and subscribe today.
Yeah, man, like and subscribe today. Why not? Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's get going, man. We're really, we're putting out, I feel like, a great show. And, you know, what you can do is hit the like, subscribe, and the share. Go follow us on socials as well. Just quickly, because we need to have an out, 44.80, 44.70. Sometimes we want to buy dips in Roblox, but yeah, let's buy this dip until we break. Yeah, because we're out of a little bit of it now. So, all right, let's do some of that. Let's do some of that, okay, on Roblox. If it does come back in, let's do that. Oh, there's an L. So there we go. It's going to be a cup of coffee because we got out of 40%, but NVIDIA right now failed at 500. We tried it. That's what my trade looks like. Again, broke through VWAP. And this is why we can sit there and kind of like ho-hum. It sucks to have a losing trade. There's no doubt about it. But when it works the way it's supposed to work, our outs get triggered. This takes down VWAP, which we kind of, you know, were nervous about getting in the first place, which is why when I got that trade, I was like, I got to get out of this one. But there it is, NVIDIA. Thank you, Oren. Thank you, everything, man. Thank you, Comp SRX1. So this is the Sean you like. Well, what is the one you don't like? Because I'm trying to, you know, I'm trying to get better for everybody. I just mean that seriously right now. But okay, Obi, we're doing quite well. We're having a lot of fun, and the viewers are liking it, which is what's important. And the trades have been coming in pretty hot here today.
Yeah, very strong action there, kind of pushing past some of these highs. Again, I tried the idea for the last time here on the Amazon 155 halves, just shorting underneath it. There's some size kind of sitting in and around these in the ask there, and we'll just trading based off of that. We'll see how well that comes in, but the strength is definitely very strong to the upside there across the board here. Again, Netflix kind of came into that level. We were talking about this, came into the high, did break the high, but now we're holding on, we're holding off a little bit on that 500 break. Still about a few points away from that 2.5 roughly as we're trading in the 97s. But okay, so a little bit of a tape change here potentially here as the NQ takes a little bit of a wick. How much time is left for this 15-minute candle to print? I have 1 minute and 40 seconds. So we've only printed green candles on the 15 since the open. Now this is not just the case for the NQ or the ES, but this is also the case for Apple, this is also the case for Alphabet, and this is also the case for Amazon. Now, NVIDIA still chopping and churning around that 500. I think that 500, again, it's going to be a little bit distinctive there if and when it does come in. But that 500 has been a little bit weak there. We saw yesterday in the pre-market how NVIDIA flushed nicely off of that 500 level here. I can show you guys what I mean right here. So a little bit of selling off the 500 is basically what I'm alluding to there. Push up through the 500, breaks, and then in the pre-market you flush off. During the day session you kind of flush off as well, consolidate. And today coming in, you're having some trouble, a potential double top exactly at that 500. The highest prices printed both times is that 499.99, 98 on the second high there I'm seeing. So technically a lower high by 1 penny there underneath that 500 on NVIDIA. Pushing back into VWAP, let's see how strong VWAP really is there. I'm looking for this market to kind of catch a little bit of a breather if it can. But that 17th, Sean, was very, very strong. I was looking at AMD, right? Last time I think we left you guys, we were taking a quick look at AMD there. Yeah, let's go back. I had 140, I had 143.5. That didn't really come in. But the next level I had was a 138.8. So 138.80s-ish area right here. That also kind of coincides with pre-market lows, and we're underneath VWAP. That price is in and around that VWAP mark, and we've been selling off of that levels there. So I'm curious to know there. I see the NQ blasting off, some more strength there on the NQs, kind of teleporting past that 1746 that I had yesterday's high. So we are past yesterday's high now on the NQs quite aggressively. Let's see how well and how long this lasts here. But Google pulling back into VWAP. Again, I did say I want to stay involved with the long at VWAP with Google, but this bit of acceleration is a little bit concerning there. If we do come back into VWAP, that's about 1.5 points of a move on something like Google. So let me just quickly take a look at the ATR there. ATR 3.19. So 1.5 points is roughly 50% of the ATR. So we're going to do a 50% ATR move all the way back down to VWAP for a potential reversion on Google if those bidders kind of show up again. But structure highs from the morning opening drive and the opening kind of consolidation highs as well. 140.5. So I'll be looking at both those levels, 140 and 140.5, to potentially continue to get involved there with Google as well. So yeah, let me know in the chat, what else are you guys trading? I know, okay, so I see one name already. So FDX, we know that had, what do you call, earnings this morning.
Let's, just because we're running a little bit behind here with crypto moving around, it's now at 44,138. I do want to talk about FedEx, so good look on that one. So let's do FedEx when we get back from Adara at the desk with crypto.
All right.
I'm going to start here with a really interesting regulation-related update. According to a published filing here, I'll just scroll down right here. This is published here by CoinDesk. That BlackRock, NASDAQ, and SEC representatives have met regarding the Bitcoin ETF. This is actually the second meeting between these parties with regards to rule changes required for listing a spot Bitcoin ETF in a second meeting in a month here. So keep an eye on this. Very interesting stuff. In terms of Bitcoin itself, very much moving to the upside. As Sean mentioned here, breaking above that 44,000 area. We're about 44,150 right now. Yeah, Bitcoin very strong. Ethereum up as well. Up above that 2,200 area, about 2,250. Solana continuing to be really strong, above 80 here, 8% to the upside. Avalanche also about 8% to the upside, guys. Mostly strong across the board here with these crypto names.
That's another thing. I gotta be able to check out your crypto portfolio at some point because there might be some rebalancing happening in that one. All right, let's go like this. Let's go awesome. And I just want to thank everybody. Comp SRX1, Will, some of you guys there. Oh, what's up to Naor as well? Naor says, shout out from love you from Israel. Love you guys too, obviously. I don't want to get too political, but hopefully everything works out on that side for everybody, no matter where you are in this world. And just a really great, there's Comp SRX1. And just thank you for all the love, guys. I mean, I feel like we've been really blessed, man. We have great traders. By the way, there's Alibaba. I think we already talked about that. That's an out. And I just want to talk about Intel real quick before I talk about my love for everybody around here, like as if this is the holiday spirit's really affecting me. All right, so we got out of Intel there as it came right back up. It just went to the high of the day, but we're long at 25s, out at 60 there to complete it. But no, what I was getting at is that we've been really, you saw Steph on the show the other day. Obi's a guy, that's volunteered and now really done amazing with sort of this role and filling in for us. We had Patrick on last week or a couple weeks ago, and coming on today potentially, as Sharif's mentioned to me. I actually saw Yannick in the back there, and I thanked him for coming on and asked him if he wanted to come back on potentially in the new year. That was a yes, so thank you to Yannick for that one. Thanks to Branko's over there and Wayne. And I got to give a shout out to Wayne yesterday because we talked about that time-based trading, and he clarified what that was all about. And I knew it was, that's what he was talking about. I was not trying to diss the time base at all. He was talking about it was more about during like a move up. So like if the market's just opening and you have a trade that you're looking at in the first 10 minutes, if that 10 minutes expires, then potentially look for something else.
Right.
That's, to me, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
It's about knowing that for example, but everyone likes Patty Ice. It's like Matty Ice. Matty Ice. For that's Matt Ryan's. So shout out to that. But anyways, what I was getting at is that, and there's many more. There's Max. There's shout out to all the past traders that are no longer here, but Max still in the building, that have helped us grow to where we are today. Shout out to Kat there. Shout out to Adara that's joined us. Obviously, Brendan's been here since the jump, and then Sharif. I mean, you're going to see this guy in a couple of minutes. I have nothing else to say about that guy. Worked so hard. And then shout out to Fabian as well, and someone named Ramin over there. What's up, Ramin? What's up, guys? Right there. So there we go. Now you've seen the team, and happy holidays to everybody that works around here. Happy holidays to you too, Obi, and happy holidays to everybody out there. And I hope some of the trades have helped put some of those special gifts underneath the tree, because it's helping me for sure. So far so good here today. Google pulling back a little bit. Intel still screaming.
Yeah, definitely a great vibe being surrounded by such awesome.
Shout out to Valeria and Arun.
Yeah, definitely a great team that we have going on here on the floor at Day Trade the World here. But yeah, there's a little bit of a wick kind of happening on this 15-minute candle. Again, like I said, I'm waiting for that first red wick, red 15-minute candle to kind of come in. I am getting a little aggressive here with the short, but I do kind of I want to stay believing in my idea until it really shows me convincingly that this is the wrong way here for now. But again, I'm more than willing to be wrong. But Google coming back down into VWAP there, so I'll be patiently waiting for that to potentially come in. 140 halves, like I said, I'll be watching that as well. Bit of a consolidation area, and VWAP right there just above that 140 as well. So I guess what was I looking at here on, wasn't VWAP
Brooklyn
hovering above? Okay, yeah, so on the 3-minute, you can see that price hovers above the VWAP. You switch to that 5-minute, you can see that it actually came down and actually touched a couple of times onto the VWAP price there. So maybe a little bit better to be looking at it at a slightly higher time frame potentially. And again, the morning momentum is starting to subside a little bit here. It's very, very strong drive across the board. and we're getting a little bit of relief. Let's see whether the relief really comes in or not here. Softy still consolidating. Nothing else really. We were going to talk about FDX. So let me pull that up and see what FedEx is up to today. So day one earnings. Now again, I do like to get involved a little bit more on day two earnings, but day one earnings is definitely good, valuable information. I did have this 240 marked on the sticky note. Definitely looks like it did not come in today, as we've held 246 there. So it was a strong wick in the pre-market session there, in and around 6:30, and then we kind of hold a higher low there and holding on VWAP now as well. So that's probably some decent information going forward. Again, the full picture hasn't really been printed on the chart. Let me know in the chat if you guys have been trading FDX today, day one earnings, some solid action there. Nice little dip buy off of pre-market consolidation lows as well to take it back up through those highs. So I see that we have a super chat here. As someone who gets taxed for profit, if I don't keep a trade for at least 6 months, what's the best way to trade for a long time frame? Thanks. That's by Gregory. Do you have any input on that, Sean?
One thing about it is sometimes it's a negative thing. I have input on too many things, but no, look, what I would say, Gregory, I think it's a great question. And the question is just like as someone who gets taxed for profit, if I don't keep a trade for at least 6 months, what's the best way to trade for a long time frame? So the only thing I would say is whatever you're using right now, whether or not it be a 50 period, a 200 period, I would just say just put them on a larger time frame chart. Because if the strategy that you're using is working, and maybe back test it. And I know Trade Ideas, shout out to Trade Ideas, which you can see on the screen right now. They have a back testing software as well that you could potentially use to do something like that. So I would say, Gregory, if something's working, and this is just a daily chart, but for the daily, I have the 50 and the 200, and then for over here, I have the same actually for my 20-minute chart as well. But if you're talking about having to keep something for 6 months, then honestly, man, I feel like the best way to trade, and we're not financial planners, and we're actually not even supposed to really dig into what we think is the best thing for everybody. But I can just answer this as a generic question, and that is that if your time frames are longer, then to me, I actually think it's safer to trade ETFs. So pick something, a sector, for example, instead of buying NVIDIA today, maybe buy SOXL or buy SMH. That way that in the next 6 months, you're not just taking single stock risk. If something doesn't work with NVIDIA, well, then you're going to have the rest of that basket to sort of fall back on. And that could be said of everything. It's like if you want to buy mid-cap names or small-cap names, maybe look at an ARC, or look at an IWM and then reevaluate it in 6 months. So that's what I would do. Not necessarily the right answer, but not necessarily the wrong answer either. And most importantly, I want to thank you for participating in the chat, and thank you for the $5. I think whatever you do, just be successful and love the way you trade. That's it. Because the minute you get frustrated with some of the strategies that you're doing, you're going to move away from those and probably wind up losing a little bit more than you anticipated because you're frustrated. So thanks you, Greg, and thank you to Adara, because right now I believe it's Sector Watch over at the big screen. Let's see how this looks like.
Definitely an interesting picture right now. Some mixed movement going on. Finance, pretty mixed right now. Health technology, pretty mixed as well here. We also have some mixed movement in consumer services. Retail trade, Amazon strong. Some of these other names weaker, including Costco here. Actually got a downgrade this morning. So keep an eye on that one. Lots of weakness as well in consumer non-durables. And transportation leading the way here with FedEx off of those earnings. Some of these other names here in the sector trading in tandem with this one. In terms of strength, we do have a bit of strength coming in consumer durables with Tesla to the upside. Also a little bit of movement here in technology services, particularly Google very strong off of that report from the information with regards to its ad sales division restructuring, guys.
All right, so just quickly here, because I see some people asking me about my Google 140, 140, I'm going to get out. I mean, you know, we let it run all the way up. It went to 65.70 there. I'm going to get out if it comes anywhere into this consolidation, and it's going to be a little bit before it. So, you know, the high is 60 or 60. What is the high? You can look at my screen, 70s. So 33, 34 as a possible out. Okay, well, now we're dug in, man, and this is going to be a disaster if it doesn't work out. So right now we're long, well, not disaster, but we're long at 82 now on Roblox, and possibly thinking about taking some pieces out here. But let's see what Roblox can do. We need this to get going back up to the upside here for RBLX. And then I know we only have 5% left, or a little bit less than that even on Mara, but it was just before we threw it there. I was going to sort of interrupt and talk about this level, and then it just faded out on me. So that 24, you know, early run up, but like, why didn't it go there? Bitcoin's still 44,031. So like we're still above 44,000, not really moving around too much. But Mara, as you could see, here's Bitcoin right now, still up here. So there's no reason if you're tracking, and I have to track something, if you're tracking Bitcoin against Mara, it's not really doing the dance that it should be, in my opinion. So right there, the problem at 24, it's not gonna be a problem for me for very long, because if it comes back up there, we're gonna get out. So a little bit of a talk there. Roblox just went back through 80s or so, or what was that, VWAP? The problem is we're under it. Yeah, I feel like that's about to happen to me there, Fabian, on this trade. If we break below this 70, we're at, or sorry, 70, this, yeah, 65 there or so, then we're gonna get out. So watch out for Roblox. This trade kind of sucks right now. But look at our average position, it's 82. So we averaged in, we averaged in at VWAP where we wanted to. So I'm happy with the execution of the trade. Just need it to work now. So Roblox could be our first major misstep here of the day, and it's RBLX.
Yeah, so kind of a little bit of a push there happening again. Google kind of waiting for that 4140, and I think Sean kind of pointed out earlier. I don't have too many names on the board here in terms of trades to take. I'm more than willing to be open about potential other trades if I'm able to plan it out and see some structure there in and around those ideas. More than willing to kind of take some of those. That's why I ask in the chat to see if you guys have any ideas for that potential there. So I'm still reading there. I like the Netflix 500. Where I know we're right there, kind of knocking on the door of that one as well. NFLX. Let's see. Okay, so we did break that. Okay, so that 500 did just break there, Sean. So we are pushing past that 500 as of right now, but a little bit choppy there, not very clean on that push up as the Netflix kind of continues to rage to the upside there. Taking a look at some of these other names. Softy hasn't really gone too far, still kind of hanging around in and around the area that it has been. The Amazon is quite strong there, so we get stopped out once again. So you know what, like you said, kind of I don't want to stand in front of this train, and I have been standing a little bit in front of the train, so I'm just going to stop doing that and be a little bit, again, I wanted the 155 short. I was giving it this whole area, and if it's going to go past the 155 halves like that, I don't want to necessarily get involved. But looking a little left, let's see if we can find some levels of potential where momentum may be able to slow down. If not, then when it dips, I might just get long and just follow that strong trend that we're having on the day today. So let me pull up Amazon here. We'll go to a higher time frame and then look left just to see where we might find some sort of resistance here. So it seems that right here, 155.10 hold. Let me just take a quick look at that. 155.10 hold. Yeah, I guess we consolidated above that. So why am I shorting here so aggressively? Again, that's a little retrospect analysis, but that's just something I have to get better with. But 155 and change was the idea to get short on, and that didn't really work out, and that's perfectly fine. On to the next trade. I'm just looking left here just to see what potential levels we can be looking for going forward. So let me just, you know what, 1 hour is not really working. Let's go to the 2 hour, see if we can get some chart data that we can fit on this screen here. So we're looking at 155.60s kind of being the high as of right now. We'll zoom into here. Again, 2022 were these prices. So 2022, we haven't seen some of these prices since 2022. All right, we got a high here, 156.5. We got some strong selling coming off of 158.5 as well. Some consolidations in and around where we're at right now as well. So I'm still going to continue to wait. This was the lower high that brought the selling in as well. And that open of price, this is the opening candle here. Yeah, okay. So it opened in and around 154, 154.80s ish. So I am a little aggressive on the short idea as of right now. I'll just wait for a lower high. Why am I getting so aggressive here? This is a strong trend to the upside. I have a moving average on other charts here. We've only held the moving average very tightly, so I'll be waiting for that trend to bend to really start to get involved a little more aggressively to the downside here. 155 I still like as a level to transact with. And yeah, people talking about AMD.
Yeah, look at this Intel trade.
Wow.
Like, we got out of this Intel trade. Like,
Still going.
Well, look at the futures. So this is a little puzzling. It's a good thing that it is time to do this. All right, what's for lunch? All right. Yesterday was beef burger, so I would say the odds. Before we do that, first of all, we got something out on Roblox at 84, but again, it was only 10%. I thought Roblox was getting primed up to go, and Roblox just basically dropped off that 50 period immediately and then came back in. So I just want to bring that to everyone's attention that I did get a piece out. So if you're seeing my average price change, it's now 79, but it was 82 before. So we basically got out for flat. We got 84 print right there. If we're able to do that again, we will do that again. Wow, Intel ripping, and then our NVIDIA trade. Again, a trade that we are going to be, you know, in fairness, we are going to be red on NVIDIA, but it's very, very small. And look at that level that's held on NVIDIA. We actually was mentioning looking at it if it did hold there, but unfortunately we got averaged into Roblox there, and that has not been working out. We should have just stuck with NVIDIA. That's the one thing. Shout out to Comp SRX1 and everybody else out there. That's the one thing that I know I could do better, and that is follow and stick with. And that's why, like, I know today I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 names today, which is a little bit more than average for me, but not far off. So I'm pretty comfortable with it. But again, if I would have stayed with that one, that would have been it. I'm okay getting out of Intel. I just thought we were into that range and the market was pulling down. So I just did the math and was like, I don't want to be long chip names, that's for sure. And then Mara, we already have that planned. And then Alibaba, watch where this name is too. So this name is, again, a pretty decent out. I was talking about something. Oh yeah, what's for lunch? So let's see what's for lunch today. If yesterday was beef, right, today I'd put the odds at like basically minus 200 for it to be chicken today. So like 2 to 1 or so for you gamblers out there. But then again, the house always wins, because today,
Chicken dinner winner?
nah man, it's citrus roasted salmon.
Oh, okay, that sounds sick. Nice.
Sharif likes that. Yes. With dilled hollandaise, that might be okay. Dilled hollandaise, roasted cauliflower.
Okay.
I really like. You like that, Sharif? Yeah, roasted cauliflower and rice pilaf. Is rice too many carbs for you there, Sharif? Or that's okay. All right. Yeah, it's leg day. Did you just say? It's winter. Oh. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
To me, it's Wednesday. All right, Alibaba 75.22 and still going. All right, it's 10:50. It's time to talk about money, and we'll do that at the big desk with Adara, Obi.
Little bit of an increase here for the DXY, moving slightly to the upside. We did have a bit of a higher wick earlier on the day. This is the daily chart here for the DXY. We did have some higher consumer confidence data coming in earlier today. The big ones to keep an eye on for the rest of this week are going to be the PCE and the GDP data. Keep an eye on those to come. Also of interest here, we did have some data affecting the Great British Pound with UK inflation data, the CPI notably actually lower than expected and the previous. So the Great British Pound here taking a big hit against the USD right now, guys.
Okay, some potential currencies moving around as well, right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, as a NASDAQ, we talked a little bit about the dollar there. Obviously, I used to look at it that a lot to trade. And then now I've kind of just gone off of looking at the DXY a little bit. I don't really know why. I remember when it was, me and Sharif just talked about this, we had Dan Emmons, and he was sometimes looking at the dollar as well, but down to 102, wow. I remember looking at this thing at 104, nice little level there, break potentially of 102. Again, 24-hour market, so recently just a nice move down for the dollar, which should mean that stocks go back upside. Remember, the lower this can go down, the better this is going to be. You do not want an overly strong dollar if you're into tech names. There's going to be other names like Sharif was talking about with me just now, Caterpillar, really great move to the upside as some of the industrials potentially will work better with a stronger dollar, but these tech names need a little bit of a weaker one. So far so good here today. Mara back up, Google. I'm still waiting up here at 141.50, 141.40, maybe a mistake not getting out of that one a little bit earlier, but no matter what, there's not gonna be a mistake because in 7 minutes, you're gonna have Learn to Trade with Sharif and Dara, and then me and Obi back at 2 p.m., and then the market recap show again with me at 4 o'clock, which should be great. We'll have Chris Brecher on tonight, and that should be fun as well. He wants to talk about RSI.
Okay, yeah.
So
that's a decent indicator.
No, okay, so yeah, RSI, I'll talk about that, and some oversold and overbought, which right now, we are at basically all-time high overbought levels. On what index do you think? IWM. So we'll look at that later on today as well. But hey, all right, only a couple more minutes left. What are you in? Amazon short.
Yeah, a little bit there.
I actually like the short right now. I think
I got stopped out multiple times. But here's the thing: I was like, I'm going to stay a little bit wary of the move. But then NQ starts printing its first red candle there, and I get pretty much capitulated at the top with my position. So I'm like, all right, I've seen this before a few times. Let's see if we can get that test back down into VWAP. Morning momentum has slowed down, and again, you're getting that confluence with the slowdown there on the futures as well. Looking across the board, Softy kind of pulling back in. Google kind of printing a little bit lower as well. Again, we were talking about we've only been printing straight 15-minute greens on a lot of these names, and I think the first little initial pullback, we're poised for a little bit of relief there. Let's see whether or not that comes in. That 155, oh boy, is that definitely an interesting level for me. And if we hold above or below, I do want to stay involved with this level here. But that 155.10s, as long as we hold below that, I think we'll be all right. And 155 breaking down. But Google, Sean, holding quite well. And I see that you're still in that trade. Can't stop, won't stop. Google with a catalyst and a breakout of a key level. I was looking for this trade yesterday, and it never came in, and it's coming in real nice today. So here's the thing: I like to look at like longer time frame participants and like structure sometimes, and sometimes I'm getting involved on a trade idea that's a potential swing, and the trade doesn't really come in on the intraday, and I'm like, I'm aggressively trying to get long all yesterday on Google at that 136. And it's testing 141s now.
I mean, the thing is, what you said was catalyst, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember me and you talked about Google yesterday, and you were trading it yesterday, and I just kept, every time we started talking about it, I just passed it back to you because I hadn't looked at it.
Yeah.
Because there, in my opinion, there are no real catalyst from yesterday, but definitely have one today as the reorganization. And then unfortunately, as Brendan mentioned, like they have 30 to 40,000 employees, I guess. Some of them are probably contractors in their advertising and marketing. So it looks like they're going to save a little bit of that. And thank you to Mark Zuckerberg for starting off a year ago when he mentioned that it was going to be the year of efficiencies.
Yeah.
So definitely Meta, you can see Meta's round tripped
all the way back.
So that's a nice move for Meta as well. All right. So yesterday, a name that I talked about earlier today that I know some people have been asking about it in the chat. And again, I'm just glad that traders out here today realize that Uber trade, and we talked about it. I still think Uber can win. I'm still a shareholder. But I did take some out yesterday. All right, so Uber down 0.5% today, whatever. We got out yesterday. I took them all out around like 2 o'clock. So it's kind of the same levels, man. Like yesterday at 2 o'clock, we're at $62, like in and around here. So that's basically where you are right now for Uber. So, you know, you can get out if you want or hold it. The thing is that part of this run up, I feel like was anticipated because they did complete their 5th straight quarter in a row of EBITDA profitability, which does then allow them to be considered for inclusion into the S&P 500. So when we got that announcement, I'd have to look it up when and where the announcement was. But I just feel like it was probably back here in September or August, or maybe it was even in here somewhere. But once that catalyst hit, plus the market bottomed in October, that was just a pretty aggressive move to the upside on Uber. So my opinion there was to get some out. Again, a nice move up. And if I zoom this back out, we do have a high. Like, this could get downgraded pretty soon. We talked about that already today. I'm gonna let this chart open up. We got the downgrade on DocuSign because I felt like it was at a key level. And then we also got a downgrade from something else that was also at a key level that I didn't agree with as well. But looky, what we see right here, Obi. If I'm gonna use the logic of people are gonna get downgraded when they start to, and I don't know why Uber traded earlier than 2021, but if you're going to get downgraded because you hit some key resistance levels, I feel like that could be something coming through for Uber. But again, I did not empty the position because I thought there's anything wrong with the company. It's a nice upside move. We talked about that. I'm almost tired of picking stocks, and why not just let the ones we have continue to ride and then start to get some money in some dividend paying ETFs. So that's what we're going to be wind up doing. We will talk more about that on our podcast. The thing is that if you're going to look at a trade and you want to say, okay, Sean, that's nice, thank you for all that, but what are we doing today? What about just Uber dropping into 61 and then going long? The last couple days, every day, every time it's dropped down over the last 2 weeks, Uber's been a buy in and around $61. So I feel like be patient with it. You're already down 0.5%. I said I liked the trend of the market. We were starting to go down. We slipped through the 50-period moving average. Uber does have a chance to get back in. Okay, Roblox on this talk with only a minute and a half, and I'll pass it over to Obi. Roblox back to flat. Debating getting more out right now. I'll kick myself if and when this makes the move up, but we just bounced again off the 200 period, and I feel like, shout out to my guy Neil, who will be here tomorrow, but this gift horse doesn't need to be looked at too much. So we'll take a piece out there at 79 for flat, and then we have another piece at 85, and then after that, we ride Russell Wilson style on that one back up to the upside. Oops. We also had an 81 there. Oops, that's my bad. I'm going to cancel. I'm going to lessen the shares at 85. Let's see if we can get back going on Roblox right now.
Yeah, so a little bit of pushing into this push off of 155, but we're getting a little bit of a strength off of VWAP as well. So I do want to be wary of that. Softy kind of coming back in. SPY still holding that 475 area. That's definitely a little bit interesting here, holding on to that strength, even though we've kind of started to slow down a little bit here, holding way above VWAP also. So that's decently healthy. Google kind of strong in that trend as well, still holding very, very well. Again, I was looking for that VWAP to come back in, and it still hasn't come back in. So I'm going to give it some more time to see if we can potentially come back in. Market also pulling back, so that can kind of set us up for that push back to the downside as well.
We are now net positive on Roblox, by the way.
Okay, nice. Yeah, you've been kind of chopping that up there. That's pretty.
Well, the thing is that we are really lucky that we were able to put on a decent position down there. Should have waited for the 200 period, but now that it's coming back up, we are getting some more out of that one. So, all right, Obi, you're out. Oh no, are you still in Amazon?
Yeah.
Okay, so still in Amazon. My positions are gone as well, but we have rotated out of a little bit of Roblox. We're still in Google. We're waiting for that, and we're still in Mara. All right, Obi, wrap it up, my guy.
Yeah, thanks for spending the morning with us here. Yeah, we'll see you guys again at 2 p.m. Don't go anywhere, because right now we have a session called Learn How to Trade with Sharif and Adara.
Let's go.
See you guys in a couple hours.
Right, man.
OB with the killer segue.
Yeah, I love